stuff. Hopefully, we're going to have some fun time. If anybody wants to join in and debate with us and throw in your 2 cents, you are way more than welcome to. Me and Pop are put together a list of debate topics. And you can already see the first one on there. So we're going to be discussing, first of all, is the Hyuga the most worthless clan? Or not the most, but are they worthless as a clan? Just
Listen,
in general.
hold on. Listen, when my brother Weedle a little slow, he ain't give me time to start up, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Pop, you know what I'm saying? We're doing a little Naruto debate today for my side of the audience. We got a whole list of topics that me and Weedle came up with, and shout out to my boy Weedle for creating these images. He is the one who was responsible for creating these images as well as coming up with the topics. Well, we both came up with the topics, but he did Photoshop or use GIMP to make the images that you will see on the screen, and we're gonna have a good time talking about these topics. Weedle, take it away.
Yeah, so thank you, Pop. So I'm going to start off with we're going to start off with the first topic, which is discussing if the Hyuga clan is just completely worthless as a clan in general. So generally speaking, you have to look over the entire village and see what have they contributed. And when you look at the grand scheme of things, they really like nothing stands out as them like contributing much. Like so like when in like the Naruto retrieval arc, like obviously you have like a Neji, and I suppose like when Orochimaru attacked the village, you had like the moment where all like the clans came together and defeated Orochimaru and the Sound Ninja and shit like that. So I guess in that moment you could say, well, the Hyuga clan was worth something there, and I would say, sure, you have a point. However, if you look any time past that, what has the Hyuga clan actually done? Like, can anybody name something grandiose that anyone from their clan has done within like the Naruto series that wasn't Neji going on the Sasuke retrieval arc and Naruto fucking Hinata and Boruto? Like,
I
is
mean,
there anything worthwhile that they contributed?
to be honest, bro. I mean, yeah, I mean probably that. Like, I was gonna say, people like Neji and Hinata are definitely, the co-carriers of the clan. They definitely, I would say, they carried the clan a little bit. Um, Here's the thing: the Hyuga clan, along with the Uchiha clan and the Senju clan, the Hyuga clan is considered to be one of the great clans of Konoha, next to the Uchiha clan as well as the Senju clan. So, they are considered a great clan, but, it's like what you said. What have they really contributed? Like, what's
Yeah.
like what's a real big thing that they've done? And, like, I think they played a big part in the Sasuke retrieval arc, as well as defending Konoha. Um, I don't know. I mean, I can't really think of any real big things that they have done. I mean, what about back in like the pre-ninja? I mean, because they are descendants of the Otsutsuki clan in the grand scheme of things. Like they are a part of that branch. Like they are related to like the Moon people.
Yeah, I guess my biggest gripe about them, it's like you take away Neji and Hinata, and you just have a clan that's literally just like a bunch of slave. Like there's like two clans in the same clan, and one is lesser than the other. So like you have like so as Neji described it, he was in the lower branch, and like Hinata was in like the higher branch of the family. So the higher branch of the family pretty much just treats the lower branch of
Like
slaves
fucking
to do
shit,
whatever they want.
basically.
That's why they have the tattoos on their head. Otherwise, if they rebel, they kill them by like activating the curse mark or whatever it is on their head. Which I find kind of fucked because like, how can the Hokage just like be like know that and just be like, okay, yeah, that's an okay thing. That's all right.
I want,
Like
yeah,
yeah, just indentured like you're pretty much own slaves. But yeah, that's fine.
I want. You know what, bro? I'm glad you brought that up. I want to talk about that too. Like when I first saw that shit, bro, I was like, "What the fuck, dude? Like that's mad fucked up." So Neji, just because Neji was born a few seconds, the thing was, he not like somebody's father was like born a few seconds earlier or some shit.
Yeah, Neji's father, or Hinata's
Hinata's,
father was born earlier.
and so because of that, like you're deemed like to be a piece of shit who's gonna be slaved. Like that sounds like some backwards type of shit. Now, to be honest, a lot of clans slash people in this series are backwards. I mean, the Uchiha clan to a very big extent is backwards, but that's a whole different topic. Um, at least with the Uchiha clan, the Uchiha clan is, everybody can agree with this, is 1,000 times stronger than the Hyuga clan.
I'd agree with that. I think they are. Because, like, you have to think about, like, if you take the Byakugan itself, what does it really do? It gives you good vision, so, like, you can see, like, a good distance away. And then it gives you, like, a
chakra
full...
point, you can block people's chakra points. Rotation.
It gives you, like, almost like a full 360-degree vision around you.
Rotation.
If, like, you train it like Neji did, like, rotation and shit. So, it gives you that. Which it can be useful, but like they're only good for close quarter combat. Like if you have to fight a long range versus a Byakugan user, pretty much like Kidimaru did in the Sasuke retrieval arc against Neji, like he played it perfectly. All you have to do to win is literally just fucking go a long distance away and attack him from afar, and you win. Like they literally can't do shit.
Well,
I guess you could say they have like air palm or something like that.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. I mean, yeah, to be fair, I mean, Neji was pretty fucking young when he fought Kidomaru, and he did end up winning barely. He barely won, but when they got older, they introduced the fucking air palm shit, and yeah, they're definitely not meant for long range combat. It's definitely more destined for close to mid range, but I mean they are kind of capable of long range combat, but not as efficient as other people.
They're extremely dangerous in close quarters combat with their gentle fist and everything. Like, sure, I'll admit that, but like long range wise, they're gonna get fucked. Like, if they have to fight somebody, like if they can't hit like the air palm against them, they're fucked. Like if you put let's say you put like somebody from the Hyuga clan against like let's say you put like the most skilled user from the Hyuga clan up against like let's say Datara. Like, do you really think they're gonna stand a chance against Datara?
Absolutely,
even if they can see the chakra.
Like, what are they gonna do? Like, they can't. They're not gonna hit him with an air palm when Datara's up in the fucking sky. Like, Datara's gonna fucking drop bombs, and that's gonna be it. And they're not gonna fucking block it. They're not gonna fucking rotation it. Like, they're just gonna get fucked into oblivion. Now, my thing is this: but when I first started watching the series, like back in like OG Naruto, like when I first saw Neji, bro, I used to think fucking Hyugas were like the fucking strongest fucking clan,
they
bro.
hyped him up so good.
They hyped that nigga up like fucking no tomorrow, bro. Like he's got the Byakugan, he can fucking block.
Most talented getting in the village and shit, like.
And as when the series started to progress more and more, like you really start to see like the Hyugas. I wouldn't, I mean, I wouldn't want to downplay them that much to say like hear me out, Weedle. I don't want to say like they're fucking like totally useless, but they're definitely not as important as how they made them out to be in the very beginning. Especially if you compare them to like other people, like I said, the Uchiha clan. Now, my thing is this: the main people of the Hyuga clan is obviously Neji, Hinata, Hanabi, and basically their fathers, their parents, and take away them, like it's just average shinobi, bro. But with the Uchiha clan, like even if you took away like fucking Madara, Itachi, Shizui, Sasuke, like you still got other fucking strong people in the Uchiha clan, and they played a huge fucking role in the series. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I mean, I don't know. What else do you have to touch upon the Hyuga?
So getting back to like my point, like you said at the beginning, like they were super hyped up. You thought anybody in the Hyuga clan like Like these guys are badass. Like you get into close quarters with them, which was pretty much all Naruto was back then, was close quarters fighting. Like you were gonna get fucked if you had to go up against them close quarters combat. Like they're supposed to be like the supreme deadly fighter that like everybody feared. But like as they moved on into the series, after they moved past like the tuning exams, like past that point, the Hyuga clan like they just straight up weren't like worth anything. Like they didn't do anything. Like nobody from their clan did anything like memorable, like super important, other than like you could argue Neji and Hinata did some stuff, but like anybody else, nothing. Like the clan did not contribute like anything. Like when you think about like when you think about the Hyuga clan, like I just think of like the same things. You just think of Byakugan, rotation, and like air palm, and that's like the three things that you get. At least with the fucking Uchiha clan, you get Fireball, you get fucking Chidori, you get fucking the different
Genjutsu.
Sharingans. Like there's so much shit that you get,
You know, you
and with
get
like the Hyuga, it's just the same three things: Gentle Fist, Byakugan, fucking rotation and air palm. Like it's all close quarter shit too. Like it's I don't know. It's just it doesn't seem like it's good. Like I just don't like them. Like I just feel as if Kishimoto kind of like introduced them and like hyped them up, and then they just kind of fell off a cliff after like the tuning exams. They just fell off a cliff.
no. You know, here's my opinion. I want to say this. Um, out of the three clans, uh, fucking Hyuga, Uchiha, and Senju, they're Hyuga's easily, you know, the weakest clan out of all three. But I will say this. Apart from, I don't know if you want to include the Uzumaki clan, but if you
But
really
you have
think,
to
I mean,
you
well,
have to
here, I
you
mean,
have to
here,
include Uzumaki, Yamanaka,
yeah, I mean,
Shikamaru's
here's the thing.
clan,
Like,
like
if you
everybody.
really think about it, like, you know, we brought up Shikamaru's clan. What was Shikamaru's last name again?
Shikamaru.
The,
Fuck.
it's the fucking Shadow Clan. But I forgot the name.
Ara.
Nara. That's okay. I want to say this: the Uchiha clan is a very extreme example, as well as the Senju clan. But my thing is this: as you know, weak as the Hyuga clan is compared to them, like, wouldn't you say? And this is me defending them a little bit. Wouldn't you say that they are stronger than most clans in the village, or like other clans in the series? Because think about it, they're obviously not like a super powerful clan, but they are stronger than like most clans. Like I would say that they're argue like stronger than the Yamanaka clan. They're obviously stronger than what Sakura comes from. Like I don't know. If you think about Kakashi's clan, like the Hatake clan, like really like nobody's clan besides, you know, the fucking Uchiha, Senju, and Uzumaki, and maybe fucking Shikamaru's clan, the Nara clan. Like who else can you think of that?
Aburame. You know clan?
Which clan?
Aburame, the bug people.
Oh yeah, the bug. Okay, the bug people. Okay, so we got okay. We have the Akamichi clan. You know, Choji, the Nara clan, and the Aburame clan. Would you say that those three clans have contributed more than the Hyuga and are stronger than them? The Bug Clan, the Butterfly Clan, and the Shadow Clan.
I don't know if all of them are stronger than them, but I would say the Nara clan contributed
They
more.
contributed more.
Uh, I would say I would say the Nara clan contributed more for the fact that like they helped with like healing, like after the Sasuke retrieval arc. If you remember, like when everybody was in the hospital, like Neji was in the hospital and shit like that, it was because of Shikamaru's dad giving Tsunade the book of like their clan's like medicinal remedies and like shit like that.
Yeah.
It helped like the healing process to like make sure Neji, Choji, and all them like didn't die.
Uh.
So, and then aside from that, they also help. They like they contribute like shit like that, which is like okay, I see the importance in that. Like you think like the Hyuga clan, okay, well, what did the Hyuga clan do to contribute to anything? Nothing. Okay, let's go with Yamanaka clan. So I can respect them more because they're better for like interrogation and like getting information from enemies because of their mind transfer jutsu. And like the fuck, what's his name? Like that the guy with like the heavy scars, Uh
Are you talking from the Naruto clan or
Yamanaka. I'm trying to think
Ito's
really
dad?
quick. No, not her dad. I for a second I thought it was her dad. Irrigator. Is he not in the Yamanaka clan? Like, do you remember that bald dude with like all the heavy scarring that was in the tuning exams, like in the
Wait,
exam
no,
room?
Iba,
Ibiki.
Ibiki.
I thought he was Yamanaka, but apparently he's not. He's Morino.
He's a what?
I thought he was. He's like I looked up his name. His last name is Morino. Morino.
Oh yeah, he's not a Yamanaka or whatever.
Yeah, I thought he was, but I know they make good interrogators anyway because of their mind transfer jutsu and shit like that. So you can see like the usefulness of them. Um, Honestly, when I think of Hyuga, like I just think like of a normal person with like just better eyes, and that's pretty much it. Like I think they're like slightly above like normal people because of their eyes and of their gentle fist. If they didn't have like if they lost their Byakugan, like they would just be like a normal person. Like they would not be special at all because they couldn't use the gentle fist to like disable their opponent's chakra network. That wouldn't work. So like they would have to hope that they can just like hit the general area of like wherever they're aiming because they wouldn't be able to specifically aim because they can't specifically see the chakra network or like the vital organs anymore.
Yeah. I would have to agree with a lot of that, like especially considering other clans as well, especially like the Nara clan, the Yamanaka clan. Not even just the Uchiha clan or like the two other great clans, but other regular like average clans, like just regular clans in the village have like contributed a lot more to the Hyuga and are like arguably stronger. So yeah, I'd have to say overall, like I mean, I wouldn't want to say the Hyuga's like totally shit, but they're just not that important, especially how
Yeah,
they made out to
they're
be.
really
That's my thing.
they're really only good if you're like if you have to do close quarters combat type shit. That's like where like they're really only useful at.
Hmm. And not even just in terms of like combat abilities, but like how much they contributed to the series with the village overall compared to other clans and people. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents on
Yeah.
the Hyugas. Anything else you want to touch up on?
Not really. I mean, I think we touched about pretty much everything that we can think of. If anybody else in either of our chats wants to add anything, go ahead. But I think we can go into our first fight of the day,
First fight
and that is,
tonight.
and that's going to be Zabuza versus Hidan.
Zabuza versus Hidan. This is, you know what, man? This is something I thought about back in the day. Do you want me to take the lead on this one?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Listen, man. I like both of these guys. I like both their personalities. I like both of their abilities. A lot of people would think that Hidan, due to being in the Akatsuki, will be stronger than somebody like Zabuza. Zabuza gets like a bad rep for being beat by Genin, like Genin, Sasuke, Naruto, and Kakashi and Sakura. But I really don't. I could see Hidan beating Zabuza, but I genuinely think Zabuza would take the cake on this one. I think he could easily push him away with his water jutsu. I think he'll get fucked up by the fog, the hit and miss jutsu, and to which I think Zabuza could come up behind him while he's stuck in the hidden mist and slice his head off. But obviously, Hidan can't die, but he would be decapitated, which would render him useless. See, that's the problem. Hidan can't die, so like, I mean, you know what? This all depends, and we never thought about this, but we didn't go on thinking about, and this is a big fucking factor too. So I might have to take my word back. We don't know whether or not these people they don't know their abilities. They don't have any knowledge of each other. If they don't, that could be a big fucking problem for Zabuza, because Zabuza's gonna look at him and he might think that he's a regular person, but once he if he tries to hit Hidan and he sees that Hidan can't die, or like he slices him and like he's not affected by it, Zabuza's not gonna know what to do. Now, Weedle, with that being said, I'm gonna transfer that to you. What do you think? Are we going based off of do they have knowledge of each other, or they don't know each other at all?
I would say they don't know each other at all, like aside from like what they might have heard on their travels, maybe, but just rumors or something like that. But they wouldn't even know what each other looked like. So, with that being said, I would still say Zabuza takes the dub, and the reason why I would say that is because Zabuza specializes in the one thing that's going to completely fuck Hidan over. You want to know what that is?
What is that?
Silent killing.
Yeah, the hidden miss.
Zabuza's going to call him the hidden miss jutsu. And what Kakashi said before is he can literally track where you are by your fucking heartbeat alone. So he's going to be able to tell where Hidan is the entire time. Hidan's not going to be able to see shit. And just like what he would have done against Kakashi before, he's literally just going to like pretty much tear him apart, if not cut him completely in half from the shadows.
Yep, I agree. Hey, what up? What's good?
Hold on 1 second. Gotta ban somebody. Fucking bot promoting piece of shit.
Hold up, I got a commentator in my stream. What's going on, Drunk Relic? How you doing, brother? We doing
Drunk Relic's back.
Yep, Drunk Relic is back. We doing a Naruto debate tonight. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to give your opinion on this topic. If you watch Naruto, if you know anything about Naruto, you know what I'm saying. Feel free to give your opinions and discuss. I like to have people in my audience in my chat, discussing about things that we talk about. But yeah, just like with
can I finish what I was gonna say?
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, like I said, so Zabuza would simply use the silent killing to find out where Hidan is without Hidan ever knowing. And I don't think it'd even matter if Zabuza didn't know who Hidan was. All he would have to do is either cut him in half or just simply cut his head off, depending on which one he's feeling. And then when he sees Hidan's on the ground, and if let's say he splits him in half, right? Let's say he uses the executioner sword. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
To split Hidan in half, not from side to side. Assuming he does that and Hidan, he ends up on the ground, blood and guts everywhere, and Hidan starts like crawling or whatever. He's like, "Oh, you motherfucker! How dare you do this to me?" I think Zabuza's gonna be like fucking freaked out, but I don't think that's gonna affect him at all. I think that's only gonna it's not gonna deter him from going for like Hidan's head or simply using the fucking sword to like cut Hidan in half up the middle or some shit like that. Like, there's so many different angles Zabuza could take out Hidan that's not even funny.
Yeah, and on top of the fact, I mean, just like, my thing is this: all Hidan really has going on for him, if I'm being honest, is his immortality.
True.
I mean, like what else? I mean, he's really good at taijutsu. He's really good at kinjutsu. Like, he's good at using his scythe. But besides like his taijutsu and like his immortality, like, he's really not all that. Like, he's easily, arguably the weakest character in the Akatsuki, if you don't want to count in Zetsu. But I mean, I don't know. My problem is,
over Hidan.
You saw what?
I'd put Zetsu over Hidan.
That's yeah.
if you're talking about like Black Setsu, I think you would easily kill Hidan or easily beat Hidan.
Oh yeah, I was more so talking about the white version of Zetsu.
No, yeah, probably not. Depending if he gets tired, maybe, but um, yeah. So,
Just going back,
yeah,
I mean, just going
go
back,
on.
yeah, just going back into, I mean, like, I mean, one way I could see fucking Hidan getting fucking Zabuza is like, so, okay, so they obviously don't know much about each other. Um, if here's the thing, if they do exchange blows, let's hypothetically say Zabuza does not use the hidden mist technique for the first time, and they're exchanging blows. Zabuza would hit Hidan, would slice Hidan, and it would not affect Hidan. But if Hidan so much as touches Zabuza, Zabuza's fucked. Zabuza automatically lost. You get what I'm saying? So I think it could go either way. It's just a matter of who gets who first. If Zabuza can get the hidden mist jutsu down and just fucking slice him in half or fucking slice his head off, he takes it. If Hidan so much as touches him, um, there's really nothing Zabuza can do. Like at that point, Zabuza's done. I mean, what do you think, Weedle? Like that, based off of that, like
I would say it depends on how the fight starts. So if Zabuza knows he's gonna have to like, if like he runs into Hidan and like he knows he's gonna have to like kill him, but like he's still from a distance, I think Zabuza would. I think in any situation, Zabuza is going to use the hidden mist jutsu because when he fought against Kakashi, he did the exact same thing, right? And when he sent his like two assassins out to kill Naruto's team, like the poison guys, he had them like hide as like a puddle on like a rainy day. Like, there's no reason for me to believe that he wouldn't want to get a jump on his opponent or get like an instant advantage because he's not the type to just simply risk anything. He doesn't see like he seems very smart. Like I think he could have easily been like if Yagura wasn't the Mizukage, I think Zabuza tried, but he failed. But I think he could have became Mizukage as well. Like at that time, at that point in Naruto, knowing the characters that we knew, I think he could have became Mizukage if Yagura wasn't already there. Um,
yeah,
and even so, like let's say he doesn't even use hidden jutsu. He has his water dragon jutsu. He has his water typhoon jutsu. Like he can do all this different shit. So I don't think it matters at all with Hidan. You could say like if they get close in like a specific encounter, yes, at that point, like if Hidan were to get any amount of blood, even if it's just like a little scratch, at that point it doesn't matter. But you have to assume Zabuza is stupid enough to just simply run at him with his huge sword and not take any advantage with him to begin with. Even though any time we saw him fought, he immediately used the hidden misjutsu. Or I think towards the beginning of all of his fights that we saw with him, he used the hidden misjutsu because he doesn't really underestimate his opponent. Or I guess maybe the first time he underestimated Kakashi or something like that. Um, but he learned from that. So I'd say if like they just the only way Zabuza would lose is if like the way the fight starts out. So like if for some reason they're super close and like they're within like 2 feet of each other and they get pissed off and like they just start fighting, then okay, I could see Hidan pulling a quick one there maybe. But if like they know they're gonna have to fight each other, like let's say they're 10 feet apart, absolutely no fucking way is Zabuza gonna just go at him. He's gonna use hidden jutsu. He's gonna use a silent killing, his favorite technique to use, and he's gonna hunt Hidan down and cut his fucking head off or slice him in half.
yeah. With that stance, I would totally agree on. Like if Zabuza plays it smart and plays and fights how he should usually fight, oh yeah, Zabuza would take him. Like I said, like I was going more so towards the scenario if they saw each other and they just straight up went at it, and Hidan would eventually most likely get a slice or scratch on him. that's where I would see beating him. But like I said, like Miss said, Zabuza plays it smart and starts off at a distance and does what he normally does, maybe use some water jutsus, and eventually resorts to hit and miss jutsu or silent killing. Like Zabuza just takes it, he would slice him in half.
Yeah, and I would say even if Hidan were to get like, let's say he was to scratch Zabuza, Hidan is as we saw in his fight against Yugito, Asuma, Shikamaru, like all these fights, you saw that if he gets your blood, he's not going to kill you right away. He's going to try to make you suffer. So within that, it creates an opening for Zabuza to hit Hidan with like some sort of water technique to get him out of his circle if he can put 2 and 2 together by that time. Which I don't. Zabuza's a tactician, so I think he might be able to put 2 and 2 together, but I don't know for sure if he'd be able to put everything together like that. So maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. But if he were to figure it out and he were to hit him with a water technique, he could save himself. But that's assuming he puts everything together.
Yeah, I would agree with all that. Anything else that should be added on?
I think that's everything really. Hidan doesn't, like you said earlier, he doesn't have any ninjutsu aside from his immortality shit. So he has to rely on taijutsu, and if he can't see his opponent or hear his opponent, he's going to fucking die. So, with that being said, I think it's time to move on into our third topic.
Which is Naruto worthless? Without Kurama? This is an interesting one.
So this is a little bit of a thought provoker here. So you have to. I'm not talking about Shippuden specifically. I'm talking about
Part 1,
the entirety of Naruto. So knowing what we both know about the entirety of Naruto, I will say with an asterisk because I never read the fucking mangas. I just watched the anime. Yeah, make fun of me. I don't care.
Fucking nerd. Fucking.
I was watching the anime too.
I read the manga a little bit. Hey, when Shippuden was ending, I watched the manga. I read the manga to finish it off.
You watched the manga?
I read the manga to finish it off. But I don't know. Yeah, say what you want to say.
Okay. So in my opinion, I think Naruto is completely worthless without Kurama. So let's say the fourth Hokage and his mom died. So Minato and Kushina died when he was at birth. When he was at birth, like they normally did. But they never sealed the 9 tails inside of Naruto. They just said, "Nope, not going to seal them inside. I'm gonna take all the demon in with me. I'm gonna take the demon fox in with me," says Minato. And so he takes all of the 9 tails chakra, or like he takes half of it, or whatever. Or he takes half and Kushina takes half. Whatever situation you want to come up with. Just Naruto is not given the 9 tails fox. There's so many situations where Naruto just gets completely fucked if he doesn't have the 9 tails. First off, against Haku, completely fucked because he doesn't have the 9 tails rage to beat Haku and save Sasuke. So Sasuke in that situation probably dies. Fair enough. After that, you have, the Forest of Death. Was there any situation before the Forest of Death where he used 9 tails mode?
Before Forest, no, I think not. Yeah, no, that was his first time he had to use the 9. Wait. When he had to save Iruka Sensei from the one motherfucker.
Oh yeah, from Mizuki, I think is
like. And here's the thing too. He wouldn't have. Like, the way he was able to use those shadow clones, like, he wouldn't have that much chakra without Kurama, right?
Yeah, that was I'm pretty sure he got that from Kurama because he was, like, in rage mode.
So, yeah, he would not, I mean, the here's the thing though. He is a Uzumaki, so he does have a natural. He still naturally has a large chakra reserve. Definitely not as much without Kurama. So could we still make the argument that he still would have been able to use that without Kurama?
I don't think he would have, because you also have to take into account his chakra handling was like, as Jirai pointed out, his chakra handling was fucking awful. That's why he sucked ass so much at the water walking, because he couldn't get it down. Like, he couldn't get the chakra on the under the feet down. His chakra handling was so shit, and I believe Jiraiya said something about the reason he's able to summon so many clones is because because of his like vast reserve of chakra that the Nine Tails Fox gives him to be able to use his clones that much or summon that many.
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely a
Something
fact.
like
That's 100% a factor. But could we are? I mean, like with him being an Uzumaki, like could he do like at least a decent amount without Kurama, like a decent amount of clones?
Yeah, but I don't think they would have been enough to beat Mizuki though at the time,
I
considering how bad he was. I don't think he could have summoned enough to beat Mizuki. Because you have to think at the time. So let's say that exact same situation happens. He brings the scroll out. Iruka takes the shuriken form for him, and Naruto goes up and he summons like 5 to 10 clones. And mind you, that's like pushing it, because he doesn't have his like fucking nine tails. He's really shit at chakra control, so he's not evenly distributing his chakra throughout his clones. So while he has those clones summoned, he's being drained pretty quickly of his chakra because he's not good at spreading it out evenly. So with that, I would say maybe 5 to 10 clones, and considering he wasn't a very good fighter anyway, I would not say he would have lasted. I think he would have fucking lost to Mizuki, and Iruka would be fucking dead or some shit. Or unless somebody came in to save him, Iruka would be fucking just dead.
Oh, dude, it's fucking Naruto, bro. You know damn well they would have came up with some plot to save both of their asses. Come on, man. Are you even a Naruto fan, man?
I'm just going by what I know, but I don't think Naruto would have been able to summon enough clones to save Iruka.
Well, remember,
At
like
that time.
Mizuki was sitting bricks when he saw those clones. I mean, before he summoned the clones, like, wasn't Naruto kind like, you gotta remember, like, I kind of forgot, like, I haven't watched fucking Naruto in a minute. I didn't watch fucking Shippuden in
I
a minute.
remember. I think I remember most of the stuff, so it's okay.
So, didn't Naruto kick his ass a little bit before the clones? Like he was fucking with them, and like
No.
he was running away with the scroll and shit.
Yeah, Naruto was like running with the scroll and stuff, but like he wasn't like doing like really any damage to Mizuki from what I can recall.
Okay, I thought like he got like one good hit on him, but before the clones, this is it's a faint memory, but I don't know, like it's something I got trying to remember, but I don't know. Um, Honestly, like without Kurama, yeah, he probably, I might have to agree, probably, without plot armor, they probably would have got fucked. I'm not sure. Um, I do.
Sorry, I quickly looked it up on YouTube real quick. So Naruto is at his like secret little base camp. So he's training with the scroll. He's tired, and then Iruka finds him, and then Iruka pushes Naruto out of the way as he's hit with a bunch of kunai. Mizuki shows up. Um, Naruto tries to gather up his chakra. And then Mizuki, Naruto fails because he can't do shit. And then Mizuki throws that large, what's it called? What's that fucking large star kunai called?
The giant shuriken? I mean, the giant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it's like the giant shuriken. He throws that, it hits Iruka in his back, and then Iruka covers Naruto, and then he has blood. He's like, "Oh, Naruto, I'm sorry. I should have accepted you. Yeah, I was just like you, Naruto." Then Naruto gets all pissed off, and he runs away. And then Mizuki's gonna finish off Iruka. and then Mizuki disguises himself as Iruka to try and catch up with Naruto to get the scroll. And Naruto punches him, realizing that's Mizuki.
And that was before the clones, right?
That's before the clones. So I guess that's a fair
Yeah,
shot, but I
yeah.
guess
So
Mizuki
that's what I
wasn't
was.
expecting it because he was trying to trick Naruto by making him think he was Iruka. But then Mizuki, after that, Mizuki goes in to finish off Iruka, thinking Naruto was away or whatever. And then Naruto comes in and then he like knees him in the face.
Yeah. So my thing is like that. That's exactly what I was remembering, bro. So like, even like, I mean, I don't know. Even without like the large amount of chakra with Kurama, you know, fucking someone the amount of clones he had, like, I'm pretty sure like, and remind like he did end up learning how to, you know, some of those fucking clones and shit. Like, I really do think that like Naruto would have like put up a good fight, or like would end up fucking beating Mizuki without Kurama. Like,
See, I would slightly disagree with that because both times he managed to get hits on Mizuki was both times where Mizuki was not expecting it at all. Because the first time he hits him, it's like when he's disguised as Iruka and he thinks Naruto's so fucking stupid. Naruto would never think that, you know, he would be disguised as Iruka, and then he was caught off guard and hit. And then the second time he was hit was when he's about to give the killing blow on Iruka, so again, he's caught off guard. So if he's going against Naruto and let's say 5 or 10 of Naruto's clones, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he could summon 5 to 10 clones at that point without Kurama.
5 to
I
10.
think Naruto could put up like a decent fight. Especially if like Iruka tries to get into it, I think they could put up a good fight, but I don't know if like they'd be able to beat him. I think it could go either way with them, depending. They might, depending on how injured Iruka is, they might be able to beat Mizuki. But if it's just Naruto versus Mizuki, I don't believe he's winning at all.
Well, I mean, how capable really was music? Like, how like Mizuki was not, you know, that great of a ninja himself.
Let me see what rank he was. Mizuki, Naruto.
I'm pretty sure he was a Genin. I think he was a Genin too.
He was a Chunin.
Oh, he was a Chunin.
So he passed the tuning exams, got himself to Chunin.
Okay, so he is a Chunin.
So he's capable because he was able to get to that point. So with that being said, I think it would highly depend on if Iruka would be good enough to help Naruto fight him. If he did, then I think they could beat Mizuki. But if he can't, then I think Naruto would lose. I think he'd put up a good fight, but I think they lose at the end of the day. I think how they bullshit it in is by having like everybody else show up
To save them.
to that situation to find out like Mizuki was like the one who was behind it all, and have all the search party shows up or whatever.
To basically save the rest.
Pretty much. I think that's how they would have done it in the anime.
I could see it like that. So like, you know, Naruto will put up a decent fight and probably end up losing at the end, to which that will bring enough time for everybody to find out and come to the scene and, you know, obviously take care of it.
Yeah, I don't think Naruto would be fighting to win, but he would just be fighting for time.
Now, here's another thing too.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to keep going with this, or do you want to move on to the next Naruto or the next situation where Naruto uses the Nine Tails to save his ass?
Yeah. I wanted to say before. I mean,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, before we go into that, obviously at this point in the series in part 1, they never introduced idea of Ashura or Indra. So I'm okay. He is a reincarnate. You gotta remember that he is a reincarnation of Asura. Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
still
sure.
think that's the biggest bullshit cop out bullshit, biggest bullshit I ever fucking heard of, and they could have introduced.
Yeah, regardless of whether or not we thought it was a bullshit cop out or introduced by Kishimoto with the whole concept of Ashura and Indra, um, it wasn't introduced at the time, but since it is canon and was introduced and is said to be a real thing, it is a real thing. Even if it was not introduced, I I think that we have to say that that plays a role. So hypothetically, like, I mean, with him being an Uzumaki, him being a direct descendant or reincarnation of Asura, like
How
that.
about since it's PTS? How about we take that part out? How about we don't? How about we just take that part out? Because I don't like it. I think it just
Oh, because
because
you
the
don't like.
whole shit that Naruto spilled about the entire time. Oh, your fate is it's not destined to be. It's not set in stone. You can be whatever. Only for him to turn out to be a fucking descendant of Ashura that and then have Kurama in him and then have him succeed because of those two things. I think that's a bit bullshit. I don't like it, so I don't want it to count.
Well, I mean, well, so I guess your idea is that like Naruto was only successful because of Kurama and Indra and Ashura.
Well, they turned a success into nothing but those things because rather than being like this kid who strived hard to fight through the hardships, then it's like, oh wow, that's a cool story. He was an orphan who had nothing and he grew up into some powerful ninja, only for him to have that power because he's a reincarnation of
Yeah,
Ashura,
because like it
and
was
then on
given
top
to
of
him.
that, he has the Nine Tails. So he was already destined to be great before he turned great. So his fate was already to be great, essentially. So everything he did doesn't fucking matter because he was already destined to do so. Like I hate that so much, and it's such a bad message.
Yeah, if we put it like that, I mean, like I would definitely have to. I would kind of have to agree with that. Like hypothetically, I mean, I don't know. If we took away the Ashura aspect, the Kurama aspect, like you would get um a, a ninja or a person who's practically not talented to do ninjutsu or not talented to be a shinobi, or and there's somebody who's just like naturally like doesn't have the capabilities of fighting or like being a shinobi. But now here's the thing though, even without that, Naruto still had a really strong fucking work ethic. Like he kept trying and trying and trying, and that had nothing to do with Astra or Kurama. So he had the capability of learning. He just wasn't naturally talented to use it.
Well, I would slightly disagree. I do agree with the work ethic part and how that did help him without the Kurama or Ashura, though. But I think when you add in the Kurama and Ashura part to it, that pretty much makes him be able to reach like the status that he gets with how powerful he is. Which, if they were just to say like he did it through like hard work alone, rather than having to like you could say like relying on Kurama too and like befriending him, like that helped. Like I'd be okay with that. Like he's befriending the demon inside of him. I'm okay with that. I think everybody else would be okay with that, and that would explain his power spike in Shippuden. However, what I don't like is him being given this power because he is a descendant of Ashura. Like I don't fucking like that at all because they don't say to like what end is he given power. Like I don't know, it's weird.
Unfortunately, like here's the thing though. Unfortunately, whether or not we do or do not I mean, obviously, like it probably was not introduced in part one, but it is a real thing. Like the Ashra aspect, like is a real aspect. Like even if we don't like it, like it is still there. You get what I'm saying? Like so, if we got rid of, is he worthless without Kurama? Like he's still a descendant of Asura. And if we do use that aspect, because it is a thing, according to Kishimoto, going based off of how Kishimoto played out the series, like is he really totally worthless without Kurama?
Um, hold on one second. Yeah, sorry, I had to look something up real quick. Um, so I think taking out the part to where he's Ashura and having Kurama, I just think those give him so many outs, and they say like those two saved like his shit. I guess I should say Kurama saved his shit so many times that it's not even funny. So we have to go into this assuming Naruto doesn't have the nine-tailed fox. And I'm gonna go into it not giving him the Ashura at all, because I just like that's just shit added and Shippuden to explain plot holes or some shit. I'm not gonna have it in there because I just think it's bullshit.
But I mean,
And it's really bad bullshit.
but here's the, I mean, like regardless of whether we think it's bullshit, bro, but it's still a part of the series if we don't like it or not.
But like, what does being the descendant of Ashura mean? Like, what power does that give him?
Well, with him being an Uzumaki, like that is, it does come with, you know, naturally strong, or fucking what, not like, they explain the series, large chakra reserves. Um, I think fucking he can do Sage mode better. I mean, obviously he wasn't doing Sage mode in part one, but there were things. If we do look it up, like there were things that Ashura gave, that something is a part of Ashura that the Sage of Six Paths said. I think here's the thing: Indra had the power, but Ashura had something else. That's what the Sage of the Six Paths said. Do you remember? He said Indra had the power, but Ashura, he had something else, but I forgot what it is. But it was
Well,
something.
you could say Naruto is good at like befriending people. Like that's kind of like what the Takno Jutsu could maybe come in. Like you could say that, I suppose.
Nah, I mean maybe that too, but no, it was some type of. It was some other thing that Ashura had that Indra didn't. That I don't know.
Well, yeah, because Indra took the path of like using his force to make people cooperate, as to where Ashura took the hard path of creating that well and working together with the villagers and making them and marrying one of their daughters or whatever, and coming together rather than forcing them to come together like Indra did.
Mhm.
So I
And
would say that has more to do with that is more like determination and like willingness to like work with others and like befriend people. I can't remember the specific word for it, but like friendliness and like closeness and bonds and shit like that.
yeah, and like I said, like what was the clan that? Okay, because Indra and Ash were both in the Otsutsuki clan, and they gave the Uzumaki clan is a isn't the Uzumaki clan is one of the direct descendants of that clan, right?
I believe
I believe
so.
so. Yeah. Like, listen, bro. If we like I said, taking away Kurama, and even if we know,
Well, I don't know if they're direct descendants. They said that they're blood relatives of the
yeah,
Senju
yeah,
clan,
like blood relatives.
which I know the Senjus are like direct descendants and the Uchiha are direct descendants. But Uzumaki, I think they're like close to that, but not exactly. But anyways, go on.
And like still, we gotta remember, bro. Like he's still like an Uzumaki. Like the Uzumaki, this is the clan that was able to summon like fucking Shinigamis, like that clan, like the Uzumaki clan, also founded the Leaf Village too. Like he's still not like
So
he still has
I looked it up real quick. It says that they're renowned for having bright red hair, possessing incredibly strong life forces and chakra, and their sealing prowess.
that's what I'm saying. Like the large amount of chakra reserves.
I don't know. Because even then, I still think Naruto, like, there's still us too many times to where Naruto is bailed out without him having a fucking Uzumaki bloodline and shit like that running through him. I think there's just too much extra that has happened for, I guess, that for, like, to, like, say, oh, well, Kurama didn't result any of that, you know?
Yeah, of
I think,
course.
so, my thing, so moving on to, like, the next, like, situation, I suppose, because we're kind of getting stuck on this. Um, so with him being, I couldn't really see anything that really explained that Naruto got any sort of power up from being a direct descendant of Ashura, aside from being
Chakra
determined to end the
cycle.
the cycle of hatred between Indra and Ashura, between those two paths. So, or between those two descendants. So, aside from that, wanting to end that with Sasuke, there's nothing that I could see that that makes me believe Naruto got some sort of power up from simply being a descendant of Ashura or having being a descendant of Ashura. Yeah.
I I think I agree with that a little bit. I don't think he had any real direct abilities, based off of him being a descendant of Ashra. Besides the fact, besides him being an Uzumaki, which granted him large chakra reserves. Uzumakis are naturally very strong. Um, what else? I will say this, and this will probably be my last say on the topic. I think Naruto was really fucking nerfed without Kurama. I wouldn't want to say he's a total I wouldn't want to say like he's just totally fucking nothing without Kurama. I really would not go as far as to say that. We and not meaning to backtrack, but we did talk about that Hyuga earlier. Like, and it's relating both of this, like, they're not totally useless, but like we can't downplay them. We can't
Yeah,
downplay them like super hard. You give them some type of credit, they do have a bit of prowess. So
yeah, I still think Naruto would be like a good ninja, but I don't think he would be. I don't think he'd be like, as an example, I don't think he'd be as good or as powerful as like Sasuke. I think
oh
he
yeah,
could. I think like as he trained more, I think he would probably cap out with him being an Uzumaki and everything and his work ethic. I think he would cap out at being like a bit stronger than, or like maybe on like towards the same level as Jiraiya, maybe a bit stronger, um, because well, so that's kind of moving too far ahead. Let me backtrack a little bit. So I wanted to go over the times to where Kurama saved his ass in the anime, at least that I can remember. Um, so you had the part with Mizuki where like partially, and then the second time was when it was in the tuning exams in the Forest of Death when they were going against Orochimaru and Naruto had the Nine Tails. Orochimaru put that seal on Naruto to prevent any of the Nine Tails chakra from slipping out. So after that point, you could argue, okay, well, after that point, Naruto showed his like true grit and everything, without having the Nine Tails and everything like that, without having to rely on its power. I'd say that's fair. That's fair. He showed his grit against Kiba, because Naruto had, he was in the forest of death. He had to go. He was exhausted, and then he came in, and he had to fight Kiba of all people. And Kiba, in the tuning exams, Kiba was fucking tough as shit.
oh
Like he was a
yeah.
very hard opponent for Naruto. Like he kicked Naruto's ass that entire fight. Um, and then Naruto got a lucky fart off and then
He
went
did
off
the
of it.
fart. That fart,
Yep.
bro. That
Um,
that fart had
and then he got
that fart had nothing to do with Kurama.
nope. That was all Naruto right there. So then Naruto showed his grit there and he won and he got past the first stage of the tuning exams. And then after that, that's when he met with Jiraiya. And that's when he first started to meet with Jiraiya. I'm pretty sure at that point, that's when Jiraiya started to teach him how to like. That's when Jiraiya taught him how to walk on water and like shit like that. Chakra control.
Yeah.
and that's when he taught Naruto to use the Nine Tails chakra, or like try to gather it and use it for his advantage. Because the next time he would use like the Nine Tails chakra, or I guess the first time he would technically use it would be in his next match against Neji. Now, I will say, Kurama was the only reason Naruto won in his fight against Neji, and here's
Oh
why.
yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
So, for those of you who didn't watch the Naruto versus Neji fight, what happened was, Naruto fought Neji. He kind of got a couple like licks in at the beginning against Neji, but he didn't really push Neji too far. Um, Neji ended up hitting his 8 trigrams, 64 palms on Naruto, and he pretty much shut off Naruto's chakra supply. Naruto could not get chakra from anywhere, so he was pretty much finished. However, because he had Kurama, he could simply, or not simply, but he could summon Kurama's chakra and use that instead of his own chakra because of what Jirai had taught him earlier. So in that situation, Naruto beat Neji only because of Kurama. If he did not have Kurama in that situation, Naruto would have lost hands down. And pretty sure you said you agree, Pop. If you want to mention
Yeah.
anything, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I mean, in the beginning of the fight with Neji and Naruto, like Naruto didn't resort to Nine Tails until later in the fight when he was getting his ass kicked.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I don't. With Naruto's natural ability without the Nine Tails, like there was, I can't see nothing he could have done without the help of Kurama. Kurama was the power up that was able to beat fucking Neji. I mean, he didn't have the fucking Rasengan at the time, so yeah, Naruto would have lost. I agree with that.
Yeah. So then after that, you have to go into the next situation that he relied on the Nine Tails chakra, which I remember quite fondly. Sorry, not vaguely. Which was against Gara of the Sand. When he fought him, when Gara in the forest, when Sakura was pinned down by his fucking tail or pinned down with the sand, and then Gara transformed into the one tail. And
Wait, Wheeler, I don't mean to interrupt you, brother, but I think do you think we have came to a bit of a conclusion, or do you think we want to keep discussing on a little bit, or do we
I
want
want to discuss a little bit further, and you're about to see why.
Okay.
Okay, so the next situation where Naruto uses Kurama's chakra, is in his next fight against Gara of the Sand, after the Hidden Sand and the Hidden Sound attack the Leaf Village, and then Naruto goes after Gara with Sakura, Sasuke, and they track Gara down. Sakura gets pinned against a tree. Sasuke gets defeated because his curse mark activates, and then Naruto has to come in to save the day. Well, Naruto fights Gara in his like awakened state, to where it's like a partial transformation, where like the sand is surrounding him, and he has like a tail made out of sand and shit. And so Naruto gets his ass beaten a little bit, then he summons his clones, and then he beats Gara's ass a bit more, to where he uses the 1,000 Years of Death and shoves a kunai bomb up Gara's ass, and then it explodes.
I
And
gotta
then
say,
after,
bro, look, that fucking version of God was scary as shit.
I was as a
I
kid,
was
I was
fucking terrified. I
terrified of
was
Gara.
terrified, bro.
And then that next scene, Gara transforms into the One Tail, and he surrounds Naruto with sand, and he's going to use the sand coffin to kill Naruto. But Naruto gathers up the Nine Tails chakra, and he summons the Chief Toad to fight Gara. So here's another instance to where Naruto would have died prematurely, or not another instance, but the first instance of where Naruto would have died if it had not been for Kurama saving his life by him having access to Kurama's chakra. Would you agree with that, Pop?
Wait, say the last part again, bro.
So which part? Like, what do you want me to repeat?
Oh, the very last part.
So this was just this was the first situation to where Naruto would have died if it had not been for Kurama's chakra or Kurama.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, bro. With Gaara in that awakened state, with the state that he was in, and fucking Sasuke was fucked up, Sakura was fucked up, Naruto doesn't have Kurama, bro. Um, man, dude, I don't see anything Naruto could have done. Like, he doesn't have the power or the capability to fight Gaara in that state. Like, there was nothing he could have done. So, yeah, that very well may have died, assuming no plot armor is involved.
Right. So that's where Naruto would have first ended, assuming they didn't come up with any bullshit or whatever. So Naruto dies. Sasuke might die. Sakura for sure dies.
Oh yeah, Sakura always dies, bro.
Yeah, of course. And then after that, the next time Naruto has to use the Nine Tails chakra or Nine Tails awakening state, I think it's when he's. I don't remember after that. The only time I remember after that is when he's fighting Sasuke in the final valley. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, after, I mean, before, I mean.
And Kimimaro just kind of wiped the floor with him.
I don't know. Wait, Naruto did not go into. He didn't go into Nine Tails against
Not against Kimimaro, but he used. Didn't he use his Nine Tails chakra to summon all those clones against Kimimaro?
Yeah, I think he was like a. I mean, he wasn't in any type of Nine Tail form. Like, he didn't have like the orange cloak or any orange chakra around him, but he definitely did summon the clones. But obviously, that didn't do shit. I think. I think the only real time he used the Nine Tails after that was
Itachi and Kisame.
Yeah, okay. When he tried fucking summoning a jutsu.
Yeah, and then when he tried to summon the Nine Tails chakra,
Kisame fucking
swung his sword.
Fucking swung his fucking chakra bow. I mean, that was pretty much all the only times.
Yeah, and then it didn't work. So obviously, yeah, it didn't work. The only time I remember him doing it after that, awakening into the Nine Tail state, was when he was fighting against Sasuke. Which there were multiple times in that fight where Naruto would have died without the Nine Tails.
Agree.
The first time he would have died is when he got fucking when he got dropped on it, like when Sasuke dropped him on his fucking head from like 100 feet up, and Naruto just kind of floated into the water after that. Like, his neck was shattered. He had no fucking hope of living. He would have fucking died there if Kurama didn't take over. Another time he would have died is when Sasuke plunged a Chidori through his fucking chest. That would have killed him too if it wasn't for Kurama either. Or is it like rapid healing? And then obviously he would have fucking died at the end when Sasuke used his black Chidori. If he even got to that state, when Sasuke used his black Chidori, that would have fucking easily beaten Naruto's normal Rasengan. So yeah, another time Naruto would have died, or at least 3 times he would have. So I mean,
like, if we think about like this is a little off topic. If we think about like this, now obviously Sasuke's 100% the more naturally talented ninja than Naruto, but with this type of logic, can we say that Sasuke will be useless without the Sharingan, with no Sharingan at all?
With no Sharingan at all?
Yeah, that means he can't do anything with the Sharingan. He's still a naturally talented ninja, but he's got no Sharingan.
I don't think he'd be able to reach his like great ability heights. I think he'd still be a good ninja. I think he'd be better than Naruto without, like, if Naruto didn't have Ashura or like Kurama. I think if you just took Naruto and Sasuke as regular ninjas with no Sharingan, no Kurama,
no special ability.
I think Sasuke would be the better ninja.
But he definitely wouldn't have been overpowered though, because you gotta remember, like both of these guys, like they both have like something that's in them, like they both have like natural superhuman abilities about them that makes them really fucking strong. So we talk about, we talked a lot about this. We talked about many scenarios which Naruto would have got fucked up or killed if it wasn't for Kurama, which is all hypothetical. You know what I'm saying? So, and they are, and we did discuss about it, and based off the fucking what we see, what we talk about, we can come to that conclusion. So that being said, um, yeah, I think Kurama definitely played a huge factor in the fucking Naruto. Um, I still wouldn't go as far as to say that he's nothing without Kurama, but it definitely did play a big chunk in his role. Definitely played a huge uh, factor into the whole series. That's just my 2 cents. If there's anything else you want to,
Oh, sorry. Where you said were you
if you
finishing?
if you want to finish up, if there's anything else you'd like to say to finish it off, go ahead.
Yeah. So my 2 cents about it is that I think Naruto, if he were just a plain ninja, I think he'd be a very good ninja. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he'd be like fodder or anything like that. But if you go into like the later fights in Shippuden, like Naruto's not gonna live through any of them. Like with just his base self without Kurama. If you took every single fight he fought in, like in Shippuden or like most of them, he's gonna die in most of them without Kurama. Or like he's not gonna be able to like defeat most of the enemies because he doesn't have uh, Kurama's power to save him or to help aid him. So yeah, in Shippuden, he's gonna get fucked. But I think he'd still be technically a good ninja without Kurama. Um, Obviously, he would become so much more weaker, but he would still be like better than any normal like shinobi, I would suppose. But yeah, time to go into the next topic, which is
The third right
the third
Kage
rate
versus second
versus the
Mizukage.
second.
Now, Mr. Weedle, I need to go get some water because my mouth is very dry.
Yep, I already have mine prepared. I forgot. I was gonna tell you to get some water before we started, but I
Yeah,
forgot.
dude, I fucking drank all my water while we are talking. Just my mouth got so fucking dry from talking about fucking karma this, karma that. I gotta go get some water, brother. I'm gonna put this on. Be right back, everybody. We'll be back soon.
All right. No. But having fun talking with Pop about this stuff. It's usually this stuff like we've always talked about doing it, but we never like really did it. So yeah, I think it's pretty fun just being able to do it for the first time and just kind of just going with the flow. Fun just talking about it. I had a lot of fun putting together the cards that you see here, the versus cards. It took me a while to put them all together, but it was pretty easy to do once I got it down the process. But yeah, it's all chill. It's all chill. But hopefully we keep going for a little while here. Hopefully we get more people to tune in. Anybody who would be interested. Yeah. Yeah. If anybody has any comments they want to throw in or any ideas or whatever, feel free. Always love to interact with my audience. Hopefully, Pop will be back soon. Yeah, talking this long definitely fucking dries the fuck out of your throat. A while, your fucking brain starts becoming like this. uh, becomes nothing but fucking mush. Oh fuck! I love that Scooby Doo sound. And then you got the good old yes, the good old, and then another. But you can't forget the classic. For anybody,
I am
welcome
back.
back, Pop. I was just showing people the Gara of the funk.
Girl, the what? The funk?
Yep.
Wait, the funk pop?
No, it's from Naruto Abridged. It's like it was back, like it was made back in like 2008 or 9 or whatever, where they showed off, where they did like a little fucking bit with Gara, and they called him Gara of the Funk. And when he used sand coffin, they called it funk coffin. And then Michael Jackson like would sound whenever like he fucking like exploded somebody's innards.
That's interesting because I've never heard of that. I have to look into it.
Well, Pop, it's because you're a nerd. You're not a nerd, and you're not cool enough to know.
I'm one of the biggest Naruto nerds. I've never heard of that. We never even read the manga.
Yeah, that's a fucking lie. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, Pop. What's it to you?
I know for a fact your ass never read the manga.
Yeah, I read like one fucking book of the manga, and then I just didn't bother. But anyways, let's get into this next battle here.
Third Right Kage versus Second Kage. This is an interesting one because at first glance, people might think the Third Right Kage would shit on the Second Kage because of his capabilities. We're naming his capabilities. This guy's really fucking strong. I think he's the strongest Raikage of all time.
Yeah.
He's definitely stronger than the fourth. He's definitely stronger than the fourth Raikage.
Yeah.
He fought 10,000 shinobi in 3 days. He fought a fucking tail beast. And the
Hand
only
to hand.
and the what?
Hand to hand. He solo fought a tailed beast hand to hand. So he didn't use weapons or anything. It was just his hands or his shield and his lightning spear.
And how did he get that scar again? He sliced himself.
Yeah, so what happened was him and the Eight Tails were exhausted from fighting each other, and he was at his lightning spear. He was at his one finger, the most like deadliest of his 5-fingered assault. So he fell, and he fell onto his own hand, which he had his lightning blade protruding from it, so it stabbed himself. He stabbed himself in the chest, and he was embarrassed by it, and that's why he never talked about it. Or that's why he said it was the most embarrassing day of his life, or something like that, when that happened.
And the only way he died was due to exhaustion.
Yeah,
from fighting
after fighting 10,000
shinobi.
For a period.
Like, this dude deserves all the hype he gets. This guy's a fucking beast. But with the second Mizukage is a beast in his own rights. And here's the thing too. Mist is the biggest fan of this guy, so
That's right.
I think Mist will be able to tell you. And Mist was disagreeing with me a little bit, but I think Mist can give you a better rundown of his abilities more than me. So take it away, Mist.
Yeah, so running down the second Mizukage's list that he's going to have. So the second Mizukage is a Yin Yang style release user, or is it just Yang? It's either Yin or Yang. I don't think it's both.
I honestly forgot.
But I think he's the shadow part of it, so whatever part that is. And his style, his fighting style mostly revolves around typically genjutsu and like misleading his opponents. So to bring up like a few examples, the giant clam you see him riding on, that's his like special summons. So how Naruto has his like chief toad to summon like his toads. The second Mizukage has a giant clam, and whenever he summons this clam, it creates a fog, which creates an illusion of himself. Which, if you attack this illusion, it does nothing against it. So, like, you won't have any effect if you were to attack this illusion at all. And if you manage to kill it or hit it with anything, it'll simply vanish and reappear, just like you would see in the Shippuden. And the Mizukage could still launch his attacks from the fog that the clan creates, and you would think it's coming from the illusion when it's not. And the clam, along with the Mizukage, hide somewhere on the battlefield. They hide somewhere within the fog. And so, pretty much, and unless you have a sensory type ninja, you're not going to find them. The only way you'd find him is by pure luck alone. And the entire time while you're searching for him, he's launching his water balloon jutsu, which is like him throwing like water bubbles at you. And like the force that each bubble has, it's like the force of a hand grenade. So if he launches like a bunch of bubbles at you, it's like throwing like 10 grenades at you at once. And all that's while like you're fighting an illusion. So like this is all while you're trying to find him. And even then, he didn't show off all of his abilities either. But aside from the bubbles, he also has his water gun jutsu. So water gun jutsu, it's explained very simply. He pretty much points his finger at you, lets a droplet of water form at the end, and then he shoots it at a very high speed. He used it against Onoki, thinking he was killing him, but he simply shot it through a clone of Onoki's, which otherwise would have killed him if it was the real guy, obviously. But it's literally just like shooting a gun, but instead of like an actual gun, it's just a water droplet as a bullet. And then the final ability that he has that has been shown, obviously aside from like the hidden mist jutsu, all that shit, that normal hidden mist ninja have, is the Steam Imp. So this ability, if used in tandem with the clam itself, which seems like it'd probably be the best strategy thing to do. So what the Mizukage does is that he uses oil and water from his body to create a clone of himself, like a smaller clone of himself. And the way this clone works is that it's made out of water and oil. And the faster the imp runs around, like the more it runs around the battlefield, it heats up. So the water and oil inside of it, or it's just the oil, or is it the water and oil? I think it's both that heat up inside of it, and it creates steam inside of the imp. So the more it runs around, the bigger it gets as it fills with steam, until it gets to like a massive size in which it explodes. And when it explodes, it's obviously a giant fucking explosion. And also when it explodes, it sends like a giant rush of like steam up into the atmosphere, which causes hail to come down and cool it off to shrink it back down to its normal size. Also, on top of that, the imp can also change sizes seemingly at will, which he did against Gaara. So, not only to give you an example, so to pretty much let you figure out how this fight's going to go, is that the Mizukage, or I guess the best way he could go about fighting this, is using his clam summons to get like his um, his illusion out and to hide, followed up by using his Steam Imp, which it also greatly weakens him since it's like taking like a bunch of his like energy out of him and putting it into the imp. Um, so it takes it like exhausts him. So it's also good to hide while using it. He wants to hide somewhere, so having the clam there just makes sense. And while the Steam Imp is chasing the Raikage, which it's as we saw in the anime, it's like fucking fast as shit. So while it's chasing him, second Mizukage is also going to be launching that water balloon jutsu at him, hopefully doing some sort of damage. Launching the water gun jutsu, hopefully as well. But his best chance is to use a combination of those techniques to try and beat him. Which I don't know if they can pound against that shield, but it's pretty much going to be like a duration game. Who's going to last longer?
No, my thing is this, bro. Obviously, the third White Kage can't just come and kill the Mizukage because of, the fucking clams, the Genjutsu, the miss. But no, here's the thing. Can the Mizukage really kill the third White Kage? I mean, his the third, we gotta understand too, the third White Kage is he's got lightning armor on top of his fucking durability. Like, this is a really fucking tough battle. Like, can either of them really kill each other? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing we need to think about.
Possible, but like I said, it's gonna come down to who gives out first. It's pretty much gonna be a battle of stamina at this point. If the Raikage can't find the second Mizukage, I think this. I'm trying to remember how the Steam Imp works. Give me 1 second. Okay. So the clone, how it works is the second Mizukage creates an oil clone filled with water. When it moves, the oil on the surface heats up and the water inside evaporates. This then causes a massive steam explosion. The air blown up by the explosion eventually cools, which creates hail. The hail cools the clone down, prepping it for another explosion. It can essentially perform an infinite number of explosions. So, with this being said, like, it can explode an infinite number of times. So, oh, wait. The third Raikage and the second Mizukage charge into hundreds of the second charge. Okay. Hundreds of ninjas. Taijutsu strength is enough to send multiple ninja flying away. So I'm not going to say the second Mizukage is physically as strong as the Raikage, but I'm gonna say strategy-wise, it's gonna be a lot better. Because if the Raikage is eventually going to run out of chakra, and when he has to deal with an imp that's running around the battlefield that it explodes an infinite number of times, you're gonna have a rough time. Now, I'm not saying these explosions like are gonna do enough damage really at first, or probably throughout a long time. But if he can't find the second Mizukage and that clam is just constantly pumping out that clam is casting out the battlefield wide genjutsu, and he can't find him, he can't win. Because if he can't find him, he can't kill him. And if he's invisible and he's hiding with his clam, he is like the third can't do shit, and the third is gonna have to find it to even stand a chance.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, this is just a case of like stereotypical like brute strength versus a strategic fighter. And when you have when you have one matchup against the other, you have somebody who's really durable and strong versus a total technician. Third Raikage is very fucking strong, but with all the points that Miss brought up, like how like can the Raikage find him? He's really fucking strong, but
that's what the battle just comes down to. Because if the Raikage finds him, he's dead. If the Raikage doesn't find him, he's dead. So
listen, I've seen plenty of people talk about this back in the day, and I don't know, a lot of people came to a conclusion that this might come down to a tie, and I'm more so leaning towards that possibility with all these factors.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think so. I would probably agree with that. It would probably come down to like a tie. Because the only way either one wins is if the Raikage doesn't find him, or if it all comes to whether or not the Raikage finds him or not within his Genjutsu. Because if the Raikage can't find that clam, he can't win. Like he can't find him, he can't win, he can't do any damage, and he's gonna be chasing around the battlefield the entire fucking 4 or 5 days, no matter how long this battle rages on for. And since the second Mizukage created that oil clone, the steam imp that constantly explodes, if the Raikage doesn't find him for a while, he's just gonna regain his strength. And they never said if the Mizukage can create more than one of these things at a time. I don't think. So, assuming that, let's say this goes on for more than a day, and the second Mizukage just pretty much just gets to chill out on his clam and regain his chakra, the Raikage is just gonna get fucked. Because eventually he will run out of energy, like he did against those 10,000 shinobi, and that lightning shield is going to last against only so many explosions until he starts to feel it. Mind you, it's not going to be for a while, but eventually he's going to start to feel something, especially as his chakra begins to give out and his stamina begins to give out.
Assuming he doesn't find the Mizukage.
Assuming he doesn't. If he finds him, the second Mizukage is fucked. If he doesn't, the second Mizukage wins. But with that being said, we don't know, because it doesn't say that the third Raikage is a tracking ninja at all. And considering the fight relies on him having to find the second Mizukage to win, and the only way the second Mizukage wins is if the Raikage doesn't find him. So with that being said, I'd probably mark it as a tie.
Same here. There's way too many factors that come into play. These are both opposite fighters.
True.
A very, very noble shinobi.
Definitely some strong motherfuckers. That you cannot take away from them.
I've heard somebody try to argue. I told you this before, Weedle. If anybody's watching this live stream, somebody said that people try to argue that Sakura and Boruto can beat the third Raikage.
I don't see that happening. I don't think Sakura is stronger than a tailed beast.
Yeah. Well, that is for a different topic, though. You want to move on to Itachi Nagato?
Oh, gee, thank you, Pop, for giving away the next fucking topic.
It's on the screen.
Oh, it wasn't for me.
How does your stream look?
I didn't know we were switching topics.
What?
I didn't know we were switching topics. Usually you say, oh, well, do you want to get into the next one? I'll say yeah or no.
Well, wait a minute. Well, how does your stream? Because, like, they can see the fucking... Wait a minute. I'm looking at your stream. Yeah, how do you get like a full screen like that?
What do you mean?
Ooh. Place your order.
Uh-oh, Pop's mom came into the room. Uh-oh. Uh-oh,
Oh,
Pop's been a
God.
bad boy.
Hey, how the fuck did you get your thing to look like that on stream?
Like what?
Like full screen?
I don't. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Like you have Itachi and Nagato like a full screen covering the full screen.
Yeah.
How do you do
I don't know. I don't know what you... Well, go to Itachi Nagato on your screen.
that? I did.
I just kind of just... I would assume maybe it's something to do with your video settings. I don't know.
Wait, never mind. I'm looking at my stream. It's the same as yours.
Okay. Okay, well, there you go. Solved it yourself. All right, well, time to get into the next one, which is Itachi versus Nagato. I can already hear the Itachi fanboys kicking down my fucking door to kill me right now.
Listen, I'm saying this right now. I don't know. I think I'm going to assume you agree with me on this. I think Nagato absolutely fucking kicks Itachi's ass. Straight up, bro.
I would agree.
Maybe not total. I think Itachi would probably put up a fight, but come on.
I think in the end, Nagato would win this, hands down. I think it'd be slightly close, but I think in any situation, Nagato comes out on top. Nagato just has too much shit to use against Itachi. So you have Chibaku Tensei. You have every single path of pain.
Every 6 paths. Well, with Nagato, it's not pain, but he's capable of using all the 6 paths abilities. Nagato is a lot stronger than fucking pain.
By far, a lot stronger. Yeah, 100%.
Chibaku Tensei, Shinra Tensei, fuck. The animal path,
and all that shit.
The soul,
rip Itachi's soul out of his body.
He's ripping his fucking soul out. What else? That fucking laser beam he can shoot out his fucking hand.
Yep, that too.
Nagato would know. Listen, Nagato would easily fucking know not to look any. Wait, can Genjutsu even work on? I remember this. Can Genjutsu even work on the Rinnegan?
Yeah, I can. Because when Jiraiya used it, it worked on the Rinnegan.
But that was sound Genjutsu, not I.
No, well, it would still work though because the Rinnegan, there's like, I was reading about this before we started. The Rinnegan doesn't like possess any of the abilities that like the Sharingan has, so it doesn't make you immune to Genjutsu.
Okay. He definitely knows not to look in Itachi's eyes.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Okay. There is no evidence that indicate base Rinnegan is immune to Genjutsu of any kind.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So it looks like it would still work. So. Yeah. Honestly, the only thing Nagato would have to worry about is just the Genjutsu part. Otherwise, he can absorb. He can use Shinra Tensei to push away Amaterasu or absorb it. Otherwise,
I wonder what would happen what would happen if you absorbed Amaterasu? Because that's obviously not regular chakra, though.
I don't know. I would assume it's just like any other ability. What was I gonna say? Also, oh yeah, if Itachi goes into his Susanoo, All Nagato has to do is use his Chibaku Tensei to pull Itachi into the fucking air and create a fucking moon in the fucking midair. And if Itachi is not on the outer layer, he's gonna fucking die because he's gonna be crushed to death.
No, people might try to argue we can use Yasaka and Magatama to break the Chibaku Tensei gravitation.
I would disagree with that simply because there's no evidence, and there has never been any evidence that the Yasa. I'm gonna just call them the fucking beads. That the beads
bead.
there's no evidence that only the beads themselves could break that could break it, because in the anime,
Because they needed Naruto and I think Killer Bee to break it too.
So I don't think Itachi would have enough to theoretically break it. Maybe he could pull some shit out of his ass to break it, but there's been no evidence of anything that he has that would be able to. So I don't think he would be able to break that, and I think he would get pulled into it and die. It's possible he could live if he goes tries to go as much Susanoo as he can, and if he pulls a lucky break and he gets absorbed to the outer layer of the Chibaku Tensei, and maybe even then he's gonna get heavily fucking injured by that.
Now, we could give Itachi a little bit of benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, I really can't. I mean, Nagato is just so fucking powerful. He's a lot fucking stronger. Itachi is definitely smarter. He definitely has more battle IQ. I think Itachi would try to pull some fucking higher level IQ shit, but against somebody like Nagato, I mean, what is that gonna do? You could take somebody listen, we all know Kaguya is not. Now, this is a more extreme example, but we know Kaguya is not smart. That doesn't mean Itachi's gonna beat her.
Right.
Can you do something with clones? I mean, fucking, what else is Nagato have? He can fucking. There was that one guy who could fucking shoot. You got the one guy who can fucking shoot missiles at him. Hey, listen, here's another thing too. If Itachi went to Susanoo, bro, people try to make the argument that fucking he can just simply swipe Nagato with that slow ass blade, the Totsuka blade. You know,
it was kind of funny because when I was doing research, a slight bit of research, before we started, I saw this meme where it's a rationally thought out explanation of why Itachi would lose, and then all of a sudden, just the meme comes in with but the Totsuka blade though.
I hear that all the time, dude. That sword is so damn slow, and Nagato is not gonna get hit by that, bro. He's not gonna get hit by Itachi's genjutsu. He's not gonna get hit by his fucking that slow ass blade.
Does Shira Tensei, does that deflect that?
That's an interesting question. I think it can. I think maybe, possibly. I think Nagato's best bet would be just to avoid the blade, stay at range, and just shoot Chibaku Tensei. Assuming, if Itachi goes into Susanoo, shoot the Chibaku Tensei into the sky, just fucking crush Itachi. I think that's how he kills him.
Yeah, I just think Nagato has too much shit in his arsenal to use for Itachi to even come close to winning. Unless just some bullshit happens, but I just don't see it happening. All right, on to the next battle, and the one I've been slightly looking forward to after the second Mizukage.
I have been looking forward to this one too.
It is Kimimaru versus the Final Valley Sasuke.
At the end of part one.
PTS Naruto. Yeah, part one.
Now, I want to take the lead on this one now.
Wait. I will premise this for anybody who cares. This is Kimimaru not sick. So this is the not sick version of Kimimaru. So you can go with what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Man, I don't know where to even go off of this. Dude,
Well, you believe Sasuke is gonna win, so and I believe Kimimaru will win this. So go off as to like who do you think is gonna win and why?
I was really, I mean, at first, like, I was leaning towards Sasuke because, I'm gonna lie, bro. I don't know why I picked Sasuke.
Well, you picked him, defend him. You ain't got any other choice now.
Just taking a sip of my water.
Oh my.
Listen, this version of Sasuke is pretty damn strong.
So is this
Now-
version of Kimimaru.
I know, but listen, Sasuke can fly. Okay, Kimimaro cannot fly.
Wait, Sasuke can fly. What?
He's got wings. I
I
mean,
don't think those act as wings.
he can't. I mean, like, he can't like he can't fly like fucking Data, but like he can. He has better jumping capabilities. Like he can zoom through the air a lot better, right?
I slightly go better through the air, I would suppose. But
Yes, not like
I
fly.
don't remember him flying with those things up until Shippuden.
Yeah, not like fly, but he can move around the air a lot better. Now, depending on the playing field, if we put this in the final valley, Kimimaro would have a tough time because the ball, like the way his bones work, he deploys it from the ground, and Sasuke can move around. And
That's one part. Oh, sorry, I'll let you continue.
I mean, it is one part. I mean, it's not all of Kimimaro's ability, but him like not being able to shoot from the ground, that would be a big playing field. Now, if they fought on ground, it would be a different situation. Now, I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like, it doesn't matter where the playing field is. Like, I mean, where should it be?
I don't know. I guess we could say it's in like the.
Final Valley.
If you want to, we can. Otherwise, we could just say it happened in like the field that Kimimaru fought Gaara, Naruto, and Rock Lee.
Okay, we can do that one. Well, I guess we'll do that one. And that would be a lot tougher for Sasuke though.
You know what? I'll give Sasuke the advantage. Let's say it's in the Final Valley.
All right, Final Valley.
Sure.
All right. Sasuke definitely has the ability to fly through the, not fucking fly, but he definitely has more maneuvering ability. He will be spamming fireball jutsus like a motherfucker. He can spam Phoenix fireball jutsu now. The problem with that is that fucking Kimimaro is covered by bones. And can we argue that at some point the fire jutsu would eventually affect Kimimaro, even if he's covered by the bones?
I would say no.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Wow.
Are you done with your opening statement with Sasuke?
Yeah, I mean, I'm done with my first part, and you can touch upon my question and give your opinion.
So, going with Kimimaru, there's a lot of reasons why I picked him to win this. The first reason is because, or the first reason why I believe he would win is because Orochimaru saw the most potential in him. And the only reason he went to Sasuke is because Kimimaru was dying of ninja AIDS like Itachi. That's the only reason why he went to Sasuke. Otherwise, he would have he would have taken over Kimimaru's body. Second of all, Kimimaru having his Kekkei Genkai with his bones and shit mixed with Orochimaru's curse mark makes him pretty much the deadliest opponent I would consider in PTS in Part One Naruto. In my opinion, one of the deadliest opponents. Um, he can not only remove his bones at will and use them as weapons, but he can any bone in his body can be used as a weapon and then instantly grow back, so he never has to deal with like missing bones or nothing. And his also his
Fantastic.
bone density and his bone structure is like 10. I think he said it was like 10 times harder than like diamond or some shit, or maybe that was just a spear. But like his bones are a lot harder. He's gonna hit a lot harder. He's super fast. He can act very quickly. Like, and that's not even mentioning his bone shrapnel that he can launch from his fingertips like a machine gun. Like, all that included, and then he can harden his bones if he feels like he needs to, if he's going to be attacked or something. All that combined, I don't think Sasuke is going to stand a chance. And if you want to say like, oh, he's going to spam fireballs, that's fine. We saw Kimimaru's speed against Dara and Lee, and we saw him fucking go toe to toe with Lee, and he was still able to keep up with him, even when Lee was in his drunken state with his loopy fist or his drunken fist, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Uh,
He was still able to keep up with that Lee, which Guy was fucking terrified of. So this was supposed to be like Lee on steroids when he's fucking drunk. Um, so to answer your question for the fireballs in the final valley, Kimimaru is just gonna dodge him because he's too fast.
yeah, to be honest with you, bro, like I think, I'm not sure why I picked this Sasuke. I think I
No,
could.
don't give up. Defend Sasuke. You picked him.
I ain't gonna lie, guys. This is a bad decision. I might as well pick part one Sakura. But okay, wait, we got so give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay,
You got what?
we still gotta give Sasuke the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give him some defense. Um, this version of Sasuke has strong taijutsu, but the problem with that is that if he tries to fight Kimimaru with taijutsu, Sasuke is probably gonna get cut up, right? The fucking
He's gonna
bones.
end up like Lee.
Oh yeah, that will be a big problem. That will definitely not turn out well. This is my last and final defense. I think Sasuke could land a lucky black Shidori, strong Shidori into Kimimaro, which I think should be able to penetrate through his opponents. If he was able to land it, I think it could kill him successfully. That Shidori ain't no joke.
Well, hold on 1 second. So the reason why I don't believe Sasuke would be able to hit that Black Chidori in the first place is simply because in order to hit it, he has to get close. If Sasuke gets like, let's say, within like striking range, all Kimimaru has to do is protrude his bones through his body like he did against Lee. Now, if Sasuke does not kill him, let's say like Kimimaru like moves to the left or right and he uses his bones and protrudes bones from his body, Sasuke's gonna fucking die. Because not only is gonna get Sasuke gonna get fucking stabbed by all the fucking bones that Kimimaru's protruding from his body, but he's also gonna get hit by the bones that the bone that Kimimaru has in his hand. So even if he goes for that killing blow, unless like he immediately kills him in like 1 second, like 0.1 seconds, he's going to die.
Well, I mean, you don't think it can penetrate through the bones? I mean, it's Shidori amped up with Curse Mark.
But you're assuming that Chidori is going to get anywhere close to him, or he's not going to be fast enough to react to anything that Sasuke throws.
Well, I'm saying, like, they're already fighting, you know what I'm saying? He's shooting his fireball jutsu and they're fighting and shit. I'm saying a hypothetical point to which, if Sasuke did get close enough, you gotta remember with 3 Tomo Sharingan plus Curse Mark, Sasuke is pretty fucking fast, along with the fact that he can somewhat kind of fly. Like, I think we can assume that at one point Sasuke will get close to.
Well, at that point, then you would have to assume the best versus best situation. Like if Sasuke goes tier 2 Curse Mark, then you have to assume Kimimaro goes tier 2 Curse Mark, and then the next question you have to ask is what's gonna win, Sasuke's Black Chidori or Kimimaru's Bone Lance? Which one's gonna win?
The bone lance shown in the picture.
Yeah.
Do we know how fucking hard that lance was? I mean, we can't.
I'm pretty sure he said something about it being 10 times harder than Diamond, or was that Gar shit?
Diamond,
I think that might have been Gar shit. I might be misremembering.
I'm not sure, but here's the thing, we don't know. I mean, it looks like we could assume that his lance would overpower or take over the Chidori. Well, the Chidori would not be strong enough to break the lance, but I don't fucking know. Like, here's the thing. With Sasuke Sharingan, like, obviously, like, Kimimaro can shoot all these bones, he's got these bones going around, but this nigga Sasuke is hella fucking fast. He's got the Sharingan activate 3 Tomo. He's able to see these attacks coming, which Kimimaro can't. He can't see them, but he doesn't have tracking ability like Sasuke, which he can see attacks coming in slow motion. Sasuke's really fast. He's gonna be really fast with the Sharingan. I would say my argument would be at one point Sasuke will be able to get close up to Kimimaro with him being fast enough and try and stab him with the Chidori. You know, that's basically my argument. But as fast as he is, as good as his tracking is with the 3 Tomo Sharingan, and as strong as his amped up Chidori is with Curse Mark, I think that's a play. That's a good argument.
I don't think it's close to a good argument. Sorry. So what I'm gonna say is Sasuke is fast, yes. Kimimaru is, I would say he's on terms of quickness, he's on par with Sasuke. If Naruto was able to beat Sasuke's ass with Sasuke at his Sharingan, and he was able to read Naruto's movements, and Naruto was still able to beat him around like a fucking ragdoll, I think with that, I think Kimimaru would be able to easily fight against Sasuke. And if you're gonna say, oh well, Sasuke would just clearly he would use his Curse Mark tier 2 and Black Chidori too fast, too furious type shit. Well, all Kimimaru has to do is just back up and say, okay, well, Bracken Dance, and the entire fucking field is nothing but bones. And then on top of that, all Kimimaru then has to do is slide up into any one of those bones protruding from the ground and hit Sasuke with his bone lance.
I probably should have picked Hebe Sasuke, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you probably should have.
Hey, I did not think this one through. I thought it would have been an interesting one. I think we would have to give Sasuke a few more buffs, a few more years, a few more episodes later, until he will probably have a chance. Oh no, I just this that was my last final argument.
So I think we came to agreement that Kimimaro
So
would
that being said,
lose.
like how easy do you think this Kimimaro will beat this Sasuke?
If I'm being fair against Sasuke, it would be a complete wipe.
Complete wipe.
It would not be close in
Tell
any
me,
sense of the word.
like, tell me how, like, okay, they start off in curse mode, and you know Sasuke has his Sharingan. Like, tell me how, like, in what
So
order,
first
how?
off, Sasuke is never going to be able to hit any taijutsu on Kimimaro. That's just first off, and the reason why is again Kimimara's too fast, but then also on top of that, he has bones protruding out of anywhere from his body that he wants it to protrude from, right?
Yeah.
So if Sasuke tries to use taijutsu, he's going to get nothing but cut up if he gets even close to Kimimaro. And that's assuming he doesn't that's assuming Kimimaro doesn't use what's it called, Bracken dance or whatever, like
Yeah.
his ninjutsu in the game, to where like he grows out a bunch of bones and he twirls around on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's assuming he doesn't immediately do that as well. But then on top of it, and the reason why I'm saying he's like super fast and everything is that he's able to keep up with Lee very easily for the most part. Even when Lee's like gets his power up from being like drunk and like being something that even Guy Sensei kind of fears, uh, Kimimaro is able to handle him pretty well. Um, and that's why I kind of say he's very quick because Lee by himself is beyond fast in his own regards. Now, mind you, at this point, this was after his surgery, so he was still like recovering, you could say. But even then, he's still a fucking fast as shit character. So even then, I would still say Kimimaro is pretty fast by his own right.
Wait, but we forgot one final thing. Now, I'm not sure how proficient or efficient Part One Sasuke was with this, but we're forgetting one final trump factor. Can he hit Kimimaro with some Genjutsu?
Was there a time at all in Part 1 where Sasuke ever used Genjutsu?
They use that fucking Sakura, right? Like he did on Sakura and when he left the village.
I think that was the only time he ever used Genjutsu.
It was the only time, but I mean, it shows that he's capable of doing it, and we know that Sasuke.
Yeah, but he hit Sakura with it when she wasn't even expecting it, though.
I know. He's obviously not trying to kill Sakura.
But he does, yeah. But that's why he uses Genjutsu, though. Like
That's what, she's like. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it came down to it, now he's obviously not efficient with that at this point. Like, Sasuke just did that because Sakura's annoying as fuck. Now, I think he would try to pull it off in a real fight. Now, the problem is that how he would be able to do it, I don't know if Kimimaro would have a counter towards it. I don't know how well Sasuke will be able to pull it off in the middle of the fight. That has to be a factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, what do you think?
I looked it up pretty quick. Part 1 Sasuke didn't really value Genjutsu highly, and his Sharingan offered him a pretty good method of identifying and breaking out of Genjutsu. Because of that, it doesn't seem like he really bothered training to use them himself. I mean, I just don't think whatever Genjutsu he had, he'd be able to really use, considering it like it wasn't part of his arsenal at all, because he didn't use it against Naruto at all in their fight.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I don't think Sasuke would last, even if he tried using some sort of Genjutsu. I just don't see it happening.
How do you
I
see?
think Sasuke just gets bodied.
How do you see Kimimaro killing him?
I think Sasuke would go tier 2 after becoming like pissed off. And so like Kimimaro would like kind of like easily brush off Sasuke's like curse mark tier 2. He's like, "Oh, you want to see true power or you want to see real power or some shit like that." He'd turn into his tier 2, use Lark or Bracken Dance, whatever the fuck the one the Bone Field is on Sasuke. after. I don't know if he would use it before or after he tried using his spine and bone lance combo on Sasuke. I think he would use his spine and bone lance on Sasuke. He would rip out his. He would take out his own spine, use it to constrict Sasuke, and then use the bone lance to fucking stab his ass. He would either do that or he would use his bone field to just fucking impale Sasuke and kill him with that.
No, yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I don't know if we were to redo this, like who would have been like a better Sasuke match? Like he beat Sasuke, Sasuke when he was like, okay, I think he beat Sasuke will fucking kill him. Okay, he's got fucking Kirin, he's got fucking more amped up abilities. Listen, Kirin would fucking absolutely smash fucking Kimimaro. I mean, let's get off topic, but I think, what, you think he beat Sasuke will be enough for Kimimaro?
I think so.
You think so?
What are your thoughts? Because what Gara did was that when he had Kimimaro underground, like 250 meters or whatever the fuck it was, and buried him under there under pressure to where he couldn't move, Kimimaro was still able to like break free out of that shit. And like even like when he used Sand Coffin on him, like Kimimaro was still able to like break out of all that shit. So, like, if Sasuke used Kirin and Kimimaru's tier 2 and he uses Bracken Dance or whatever his bone field is, do you think he'd be able to escape to one of his bones and harden his bone, like, towards, like, the outer edge or something, and use his bone hardening to save himself against Kirin, or do you think it'd be too much?
Well, are we assuming that Kimimaro can go underground with his bones, or are we saying that can he protect himself with his bones alone? Because with his
bones,
bones,
he can definitely travel around with them. So I don't know.
My thing is this. I mean, Kirin is fucking large, and Sasuke will be pointing it from the sky, and I don't know how far away Kimimaro can go. Assuming he's on the plain open, like straight up, bro, like Kirin smashes through any bones whatsoever. I mean, we've seen Kirin against Itachi Susanoo, and it almost looked like it could have killed Itachi, but it didn't. I think the only thing we have seen that was able to protect against fucking what's it called, Kirin, was Itachi Susanoo or his fucking mirror.
When else did Sasuke use Kirin?
The final valley, and when he fought Naruto again.
Oh, I forgot that.
You know, he almost tried. He tried using in the beginning of Shippuden with the ropes.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was.
And then Orochimaru stopped him.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy, bro. People did not know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking crazy. Well, on to the next fight, or on to the next talking
point.
Let's
stop it. I'm waiting for this one. Uchiha.
Who is stronger?
The Uchiha clan or the Senju clan?
Or the Senju clan.
Now
we are taking away, we're not included, so this is just base Uchiha and base Senju. This is not Madara, this is not
Itachi, Hashirama.
Yeah, it's not Madara, it's not Hashirama, it's not Tobirama, it's not fucking anybody else. It's just who is normally stronger without like the
extreme characters.
Yeah, the extremities, extreme people. Yeah. This is
really interesting. I think it's hard. Now correct me if I'm wrong. I've never seen anybody in the Senju clan be able to use the wood jutsu. Besides, I'm pretty sure Hashirama was the only Senju user to use the wood style. Am I correct?
Let me look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the only wood style user in the clan. It is part of the clan. It is an ability, but Hashirama was the only one to be able to utilize that ability.
Yeah, in this clan, it looks like he was the only one.
Oh, well, there we go. Almost everybody in the Uchiha clan, all the soldiers, you know what I'm saying, like all the real thugs, like especially like back in the day with the war period, the the warring states or like the ninja wars. All pretty much damn near all the Uchihas had the fucking Sharingan. Now with the Senjus, besides the wood style that fucking pretty much Hashirama only had, and fucking Toby Rama, which I don't think Toby. I mean, we're obviously not including Toby Rama, but I don't know if Toby Rama had any specific Senju abilities. But I don't really like.
I looked it up real quick. The Senju clan were gifted with tremendous strong chakra and chakra reserves,
Yeah,
having
yeah.
inherited Hagoromo Atsutsuki's body as they could fight for hours without suffering chakra exhaustion or longer, as Hashirama and Tobirama have demonstrated.
Yep, well, yep, there we go. Now, obviously, when we know with the Uchiha clan and the Sharingan, we know that the more, like, we've seen this with Sasuke, we've seen this with Itachi, and I think other Uchiha people too. The more times they use, like, when you keep using the Sharingan, that shit takes a toll on your body. That shit can kill you. And like the Sharingan really is a double-edged sword. Like the more you use it, like the more chakra it takes. Now I don't really know if that's really more specific with the Mangekyo or just the base Sharingan too. Can the base Sharingan like make an Uchiha tired? I think a base Uchiha can use a base Sharingan as much as they want. I'm just not sure with the Mangekyo.
Base Sharingun, I think it has its limited abilities because, well, I don't know, maybe because the only thing I'm trying to go off of is like what I remember like Kakashi using it for, and then like he can't use it for long periods of time. But then again, he's not an Uchiha, so I don't really know.
Hmm. You know, base Uchiha like just taking regular Uchiha. They're able to use
Well,
Genjutsu.
no, I think it does take chakra because when Sasuke was fighting Deidara, at the end of the battle, he
He
put
was
his
tired.
like he took his Sharingan off.
Yeah, like he turned it off. He was getting tired. But that
So
was
I would assume it does drain some chakra, but I guess it kind of depends.
mhm. Now, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There really, I can't really say there's no real clear cut. I don't know if there's a clear cut answer here. I mean, honestly, I kind of would have. I would have to really lean towards the Uchiha clan. You know, just based off the Sharingan. I get the Senju clan as like natural more chakra reserves, and they got like more stamina and shit. But as far as like who would win, like overall, I mean, I really want to put this towards the Uchiha clan because besides, well,
I
I mean, here's the thing. But before you say anything, like we're obviously not including the extreme people, but the Uchiha clan also had like fucking more like fucking extremities than the Senju clan. As far as I know, I mean, the Senju clan had Hashirama and Tobirama. And if you want to include fucking Tsunade, maybe. But Uchiha clan, they had fucking Itachi, Sasuke, Chizui, Madara, Fugaku, fucking, I don't know if you want to include fucking Sarada, Madara's brother. Like those are all very strong shinobi, and we're not including these extremities, but because since there's more extremities in the Uchiha clan, like I just think the Uchiha clan overall just has like it's just a more stronger. The Sharingan is an overall just stronger ability than just having like more chakra reserves or being able to fight longer. The Uchiha clan.
okay.
Like,
Okay, you're repeating yourself.
do you want to go
Okay,
on?
my turn. So I am going to disagree with your statement that the Uchiha is stronger. So the reason why is because, well, a few different reasons why. The first reason is because the Senju, unlike the Uchiha, specialize in a lot of different things rather than going with a handful. So with like the Senju, as an example, you had Hashirama who used like wood style. You had Tobirama. uses water style. You know, they weren't pinned down to a handful of like techniques or like releases. So the problem with the Uchiha is that they only had a handful of shit they can pull from. So they only have like Shuriken Jutsu, Fire Release, and Sharingan. Like that's how you sum up them as a clan.
Well, I mean, but like, what else in the
And that
Senju?
makes it. Hold on, I just let you talk for fucking ever. It's my turn.
Okay, Mr. Sassy Pants.
Damn right.
I wanted to say a real quick thing.
So, you're gonna be holding that off for a little bit there, buddy. So, with the Uchiha, they're easier to plan against because, like I said, they have Fire Release, they have Shuriken Jutsu, and they have the Sharingan. They have three things which you can counter against, which is exactly what Tobi Rama did by inventing the Flying Thunder God technique to be able to counter the Sharingan.
Which only Tobi Rama had.
Can I fucking finish, or is this like interrupting hour featuring Pop?
I just had to say that one thing.
Yes, it was something that Tobi Rama created and nobody else did. But it makes even then, if they didn't have Flying Thunder God, there's still different ways you can counter it because again, they have about three things they can use. So if you're just going against like a basic Sharingan user, that's something you can like plan against. That's just something Tobi Rama created to counter it. I'm sure somebody else would have created something similar or another counter to the Sharingan. Aside from that, I said the Senju master like they're versatile. They master a bunch of like different things rather than being pinned down to roughly three. So they do water style, wood style, fucking earth, fire, everything. And that's something like in a war that you can't like easily predict or like count for. Like you can't counter that because they're too versatile. Now, when it comes to Uchiha, you can more easily plan around that, or more so plan around them, because you know that they're going to use three things: Shuriken Jutsu, Fire Jutsu, and the Sharingan. And that's only three things you have to plan against rather than 100. I'd rather have to plan against 3 than 100. I don't know about you, but that's just the way I prefer it.
All right, so tell me, like, besides the talk, I mean, here, let me ask this. Well, can I talk now?
Sure, even though you interrupted me again, but go ahead.
I didn't. You had like a pause, like you paused for a second. I thought
I was fucking reading myself. Continue. What were you gonna say?
All right. Obviously with Tobi Rama's flying regime, obviously we could come up with a hypothetical. Oh, somebody else in the Senju clan could have made it, but guess what? Nobody did besides Tobi Rama. So I really don't want to use the flying regime that some other Senju would have created it, because here's the thing: the Sharingan and the things that the Uchiha have, basically everybody has it. The flying Raijin was something that was really specific to to Tobi Rama, and to say that somebody else would have created it, that's a big, very big hypothetical.
I didn't say it was specifically the flying Raijin. I said they would have either created that or another counter to it.
I'm saying, but we don't know that though.
But yeah, we do, because we have Tobi Rama, who's not the best ninja ever, who created it.
Tobi Rama. I want to tell you, Tobi Rama not the best. Tobi Rama, listen, he was weaker than Ashirama, but Tobi Rama was a fucking beast. He created the reanimation jutsu. He was fastest. Listen, Tobi Rama was definitely in a league of his own. He wasn't the super strongest, but Tobi Rama was definitely a lot fucking stronger than the average Senju, so I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
Well, he was stronger than the average Senju, but to simply say there will be no more above average Senju is ridiculous. So therefore, going by this logic, somebody eventually would create some sort of counter to the Sharingan.
Well, I mean, like, but it's still hypothetical though, bro. How old were the Uchiha and the Senju before Tobi Rama ever came? How long were they fighting before they ever came? And the flying Raijin.
I don't fucking know. You can look that up.
And the flying, listen, they've been fighting for centuries on end, and the flying Raijin was never a thing. Now, I think It is very possible, likely high possibility that they would have tried to come up with some type of counter, but we don't know how it would have ended up turning out. I would take a big, educated guess that it wouldn't have been as good as Toby Rama's method, because like we said, Toby Rama was definitely one of the bigger exceptions of the Senju clan, along with Hashirama. So if they did come up with some type of counter, we cannot say, we really can't say if it would have been better than the Flying Raijin.
Okay, I'm going to use a different example. And it's going to come from somebody who a lot of people consider an idiot. How about Might Guy? Somebody, like, people who consider a fucking idiot created his own way to fight against the Sharingan.
His way, he didn't look at because he didn't look at the Sharingan user's eyes.
Yeah, he created his own way to fight against it. And if somebody as simple as Might Guy can create a way to like go fight against the Sharingan, and you're taking people who are literally fighting against the Sharingan every fucking day, are you gonna tell me that Guy is gonna come up with something more than anybody else would?
We've seen in the anime, I haven't seen this in the manga, but we've seen plenty of times. We've seen one time of people who are fighting the Sharingan trying not to look away. With my guy, listen, now don't judge a cover, don't judge a book by its cover. My guy ain't no fucking dummy. He ain't Shikamaru, he ain't the brightest ninja, but my guy is not a dummy, okay?
Never said he was. I just said he's not. He's
You
not
said
a
he was.
very bright mind.
People said he was a fucking idiot, right?
He's kind of an idiot. He can be a very big idiot at times. Yes.
Well, he can, but in times when it's time to be serious, my guy. Okay, he's obviously not Shikamaru. He's not Kakashi, but I think he's smarter than a lot of people give him credit for. I think we can
exactly.
Say
that. So would a fucking somebody else who fights against it every day, who goes against it
and
every day, right?
But let me say this. We seen when Toby Rama was fighting Izuna, Madara's brother. When Izuna pulled out the Sharingan, Toby Rama tried closing his eyes. So people closing their eyes and trying to look away from the Sharingan, they've been doing that for centuries. They've been doing that. But my guy was able to.
Yeah, what happened when Toby Rama closed his eyes?
Well, Toby Rama was able to get his ass. But
Toby Rama got his shit punched.
He got put. And you know what? And now that I think about that, I don't know why fucking Izuna didn't fucking snap. Izuna could have killed him right then and there. I don't know why he fucking punched him. He could have taken the opportunity to kill him. But that is besides the point. You know, trying to look away from the Sharingan, like that's something that Senjus have been trying to do, and it's not always gonna work out. At some point, you will get caught by the Sharingan, and that is a fact. And yeah, we're not just another thing too. We also not only we discussed about the Uchiha's abilities. They only have 3 abilities, which is Shuriken Jutsu, Fire Jutsu, and the Sharingan. But we didn't discuss about the Sharingan's individual capabilities. They can see things really in slow motion. They got Genjutsu. They got Izanagi. Now, I forgot a little bit about Izanagi because I know Izanagi gives you an extra life. I don't know if everybody was able to use Izanagi. I think I have to look that up. But Izanagi is definitely a strong power. If I'm correct, you lose 1 Sharingan from using the Izanagi. But you know, getting an extra getting an extra life off of that is definitely an advantage.
But that was a banned ability, though.
You saw what?
That was a that was a forbidden ability.
Forbidden. It's a forbidden ability, but I'm pretty sure they should be able to use it during war.
No, I got why it was banned.
I gotta look this up. Well, if you wanna explain more, if you wanna have your chance to explain more about it or talk, you can.
If we're not taking the extreme examples like Toby Rama and Hashirama and Madara and maybe his brother, whatever, if we're not going to take those like extreme examples, then you have to look for the general ability of the clan. And if the general, like, if they're just general members, they're not going to get above, fucking regular Tomoe 3 Sharingan, assuming they make it that far. Like, they're not going to get to EMS or fucking anything above that. Because we're just taking the general population, because almost nobody gets to EMS.
Oh
And
yeah,
most
I mean the
people
only
just get
people
to 3 Tomoe.
I think the only people who had EMS was Madara and Sasuke. Did somebody else have the
Didn't
EMS?
Itachi have it too?
Oh no, Itachi did not have the EMS. He only had the MS.
Oh yeah, right.
Um,
I thought of the MS. I'm like, wait, didn't you have it? No, you didn't.
well, how about this? I'm pretty okay. So we definitely can't say that. Okay, probably nobody had the EMS, and the only way to get the EMS was obviously you have to have the base Angiko Sharingan, and you have to take a relative's eyes. You gotta take like your brother's eyes to get the EMS.
I don't think it had to be a relative. I just think you had to take. Well, maybe it did, but you just had to take another set of Sharingan and implant them into yourself.
I think it specifically had to be like somebody close to you eyes. So that's what made it even more rare. I don't think it could have been. I'm not sure. I don't think it could have been any other person's Mangekyo Sharingan. I could be wrong, but I think it was a relative's.
Oh yeah, EMS is gained by using a sibling's eyes.
Yeah, because the way Madara and Sasuke got their EMS was obviously Madara took his brother's eyes, and obviously Sasuke had his eyes transplanted by Tobi or Obito with Itachi's with Itachi's eyes that Obito gave to him. So yeah, pretty sure it's definitely a relative thing.
Okay, so knowing that, we're gonna assume that really nobody, since it's just generally the general population, nobody's gonna hit EMS level. So with that, what does the 3 Tomoe Sharingan bring?
Okay, Genjutsu, easily, tracking ability.
Tracking? How the fuck are you gonna track?
Not track, but like seeing things in slow. Like you're able to see things a lot slower, a lot faster, or whatever. Now I have to look into Izanagi because you did claim that Izanagi was a banned ability. I need to see if this was able to be used in war. I looked at the Izanagi, and obviously, it's talking about how it works, like how it talks about, applying an illusion within one's target senses, causing the target to experience things that are not real. But I'm not seeing anything about it being a banned ability, and especially during wartime, during the warring period, and people, the achievements.
Yeah, but don't you remember when Itachi was explaining it in the anime, and it had like a bunch of people like. It had like that one person use it, and like it was a friend or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, you're using this. Oh, you can't do it or whatever." Am I thinking of Izanami?
No, I think it was the Izanami. I'm pretty sure it was the Izanami because the Izanami. I will say this: the Izanami will definitely not work in any normal circumstance because the way Izanami works is that you have to use it on somebody who's not true to themselves. And that's obviously not going to work in a real battle against fucking Senjus. It's real specific to Kabuto. So, Izanami's not a factor, but Izanagi, being able to have an extra life, I'm pretty sure that's a capability that, an average Uchiha should be able to have.
Okay. Even then, I still don't agree that they'd be stronger because I don't know to what form you would need to what like form of Sharingan you need to use it. I don't know if it's like if you have a 1 to more Sharingan you can use it, or if it has to be 3 or 2 or any stage in specific.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we saw that. I mean, we saw in the anime and a little bit in the manga too that most of the Uchihas at the time during the war period did. Most of them had 3 Tomo Sharingans. You gotta remember, bro. Like during wartime, like a lot of these Uchihas, like they had to be ready for battle. So most of these dudes had 3 Tomo.
So another reason why I don't think that they win out in the end is because of their lack of versatility. Again, you can plan if your style simply comes down to, well, we have the Sharingan, so therefore we win, it's going to get kind of weak. Simply because if they're going to use Fire style, you can plan around Fire style because that's all the Uchiha use for their ninjutsu is
What else do the
either Genjutsu or Fire style, and that's it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, what else does a Senju have besides, the healing capabilities are real strong, have real stamina,
They
but
have versatility in their jutsu. They
like,
have water, they have earth, they have wind. Like they have all sorts. Like you can't plan around them. You can't plan around like being able to just simply go with like, oh well, they're air style users, so we can send our fire style to go and take them out or whatever. Like you can't predict what you can send where. Like you can't predict how a fight's gonna go or whatever because of the versatility that they have.
well, yeah, now that I think about, wait, so all the Uchiha cannot genetically use anything else besides Fire Style? Nobody can't use anything else.
Have you
There
ever
has,
seen an Uchiha use anything but fire style ever before?
Sarada?
Sasuke and
Sar,
Madara being the rare exceptions.
Sarada?
I'm talking about during like the war, like anytime
During the
not
warring
including.
period?
Yeah.
We
Has
probably,
it ever been mentioned or anything like that?
we probably do not know. I would have to look this up.
Well, taking what we do know and the things we have seen, what's the number one thing taught to you like the Uchiha youth? Fire style, fireball jutsu. What's another thing? Shuriken jutsu. Okay, what's another thing? Flaming shuriken jutsu. Okay. What's another thing? Genjutsu. Okay.
Izanagi.
Okay. But even then, like
Wait,
they limit themselves to fire release.
well, this is another thing I thought about too. So obviously nobody ever came close to the EMS besides Madara and fucking Sasuke. But we do know, and this has been stated before, that some certain members did have the Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, we don't know what their Mangekyo did because we don't know much about these characters, but some of these characters did have the Mangekyo. The problem is that we don't know what their specific Mangekyo did, that is a problem. But if I had to assume, I can only assume that it did some pretty fucking gnarly shit. And like I said, these were normal Uchiha with the Mangekyo. They were stronger Uchiha with the Mangekyo. It's not Itachi, it's not Madara.
Well, if they have the Mangekyo, though, are they really standard at that point?
Well, standard as in like they're not Itachi, they're not Madara, they're not Sasuke, they're not like fucking outliers because the way you get the Mangekyo is okay, so you see a really close friend or somebody's really close to you pass away or die. That's how you get the Mangekyo. So
yeah, but if you're at the stage of Mangekyo, but then you're also gonna say, oh well, Tobirama doesn't count. I don't know. That seems a little too much. Like I think that's swayed too far to one side.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing: nobody besides Toby Rama came up with the flying rising as well as other techniques that Toby Rama had. The Mangekyo
So
Sharingan.
yeah, so
but listen, but here's
that
the
Toby
but,
Rama wasn't standard then.
well, I mean, no, of course he wasn't standard, but I'm saying that like the Mangekyo Sharingan is still a natural.
It's not standard.
It is standard. It's a natural ability within the Uchiha bloodline.
And only what a handful of people ever had.
Hey, a good couple of people had it.
If there was only a handful of people that ever had it, I would say though that is not general. That is specific.
Well, you got under like how?
What do you mean how? Like if you're gonna say, well, if we're gonna say like the overpowered people like Hashirama, Toby Rama, Madara, like the people who possess like powerful shit, and we're gonna go to the standard people. The standard people, I would go up to the 3 Tomoe Sharingan would be standard general people. When you get into the EMS range, you're no longer a standard person.
Well, we're not talking about EMS. We're talking about some Uchihas who have a Mangekyo.
Yeah, like even when you get to, sorry, I keep meaning to say this. When you get to the Mangekyo stage, though, that is you stepping up. Like you are above the rest at that point.
You are, but there were still quite a bit of Uchihas. Listen, having the Mangekyo Sharingan did not turn somebody into Madara or Itachi. There were still people with the Mangekyo.
No, but it gave them a lot more than just standard abilities than the normal person.
Yeah, it did, but we didn't know these people, and they were not on the level of Toby Rama, Hashirama, or Sasuke or Madara or Itachi. They were stronger than the average Uchiha, but these were still just Uchiha members. They were not Itachi, Madara.
Well, then you could say fucking Madara was just an Uchiha member.
Madara was
a Senju member.
No, because Madara and Hashirama, those were very big exceptions. They were both descendants, and they were both.
If you're gonna say they can have fucking Mangekyo users who can use the fucking Amaterasu, Not
every Amaterasu is only specific to Itachi. So I'm not saying they can use the Amaterasu because that's only specific to Itachi.
That's my point, though. So they can use overpowered shit. Like you don't know, but they can use overpowered shit. If we're gonna sample size it, right, and we're gonna look at like Itachi's, and just his gave him the power to control the black flames that were hotter than the sun itself. If you're gonna tell me that we're gonna accept people who now have abilities that can be just as strong as that, and we're going to count them as normal and among the general user or among the general populace, I call that bullshit. If you're going to include them, then you have to let me include Toby Rama for the Senju.
Well, no, Toby Rama is still an exception.
And the Mangekyo user, anybody above a Tomoe 3 Sharingan cannot be considered normal then.
I'm saying, but the problem is we don't know these Mangekyo's abilities. We don't know what these Mangekyo users...
We don't know, but from the sample size we have, abilities that they get are way overpowered.
I definitely do see your argument a little bit. Hypothetically, let's say, okay, if we did include somebody with a Mangekyo, and we had Toby Rama alive, and somebody was smart enough, and they tried doing what Izuna did, and they tried hitting him with the Sharingan. Instead of punching him, they could have stabbed Toby Rama instead, and killing Toby Rama.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you know what? If you want, I mean, if anything, since it is a new point, we don't know the capabilities of a Mangekyo, and since you do want to consider it to be a step-up ability, which in your terms you would have to include Toby Rama, I guess let's not include the Mangekyo then. Well, what else? What other capabilities does the Senju have besides strong capabilities? They have, recovery. They have a long stamina. They're really strong.
Being able to heal.
Yeah, you have strong capabilities.
Aside from that, I mean, The versatility itself is pretty much the most. Well, that and healing is going to be the big two. Because again, it's easy to counter. It's a lot easier to counter an opponent to where you know all their moves, than to where an opponent who has too many moves that you can't guess what they're going to use. So
But
just
we gotta
generally
understand
speaking,
we don't know like any features of any other Senju clansman besides fucking Hashirama and Tobirama with entirely unique skills. So it's like we can't compare it to a bunch of Uchihas with Sharingans. You get what I'm saying?
I don't.
Why?
Because the Uchiha are like limit themselves. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's on accident, but when the Uchiha limit themselves to Sharingan, Shuriken Jutsu, and Flames, and that's it, like they're putting themselves at a disadvantage, and it only becomes a matter of time until somebody comes up with a way to completely counter the Sharingan.
I get that, but it didn't come until Tobirama came, bro. And obviously, like Tobirama's not in this fucking the situation.
Well, even when Tobirama came,
put
it didn't matter because Hashirama beat the fuck out of Madara, so it didn't really matter at that point.
Well, yeah, of course, we're taking the strong. At that point, you're taking the strongest Sunja and the strongest Uchiha clan, or the strongest Uchiha. Now,
Right.
if we include, I don't know, if we were to include. Now, this is a little off topic. If we were to include all Uchihas and all Senjus, Uchiha would shun the Senju just because of Sasuke, Madara, just because of Sasuke and Madara alone. Maybe Itachi and Shizui. But like I said, we're going this back to just standard members. Like, I don't know, like.
Wait, you don't think so? You don't think like Prime Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, Asuma, Tsunade would beat the shit out of any of those?
Wait, was Hiruzen? Was he Hiruzen was not a.
Oh wait, no, he was Saratobi. No, you're right.
Okay, so you got Hashirama, Tobirama, Tsunade. Who else?
Hey.
No, Hiruzen was a Saratobi, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I remember Asuma was his son.
Okay, so you got Hashirama, Tobirama, fucking Tsunade.
Tsunade.
Who else? I think that was pretty much it.
Hashirama. Well, would you include Hashirama's wife, who was the who had like the who was the Jinchuriki, the Nine Tails?
She was a Uzumaki, bro.
Well, yeah, but technically she married him, so wouldn't she technically be part of his clan then?
She's not genetically. I mean, she's an Uzumaki, which is related to them, but she didn't have any fighting capabilities. We don't know anything about her, so I really would not add her into the topic.
Okay, that's fair.
As far as I can name, like I can name Tsunade, Tobirama, Hashirama. I cannot. I don't think there's anybody else. If you can find,
I don't think so either.
If you can find anybody else, please do so. I think those are just the main three. But if you talk like if we're taking like each member's at their strongest, Sasuke at his strongest, meaning fucking Rinnegan, and Madara at his strongest versus the Senju at their strongest. We're talking about at their very strongest, but everything allowed, Uchiha clan shits. But obviously, we're not talking about that. We're talking about just base members. Honestly, I mean, it's kind of coming down to a hard. It's getting a little tough because I do see your points. Like I do get where you're coming from. Like I do think like Uchiha like they do have some limited capabilities, but I really think that those limited capabilities kind of overpower most of what the Senju has going on. That's like what I think from what I've seen, in the series, from what I've read. Like that's what I see. Besides the
let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think every Uchiha clan member, every basic member that we're trying to cover here, do you think those basic members train like Sasuke did? And
Uh,
there's a reason I'm asking this.
a lot of them were probably definitely not on the level of like prodigies like Itachi, Sasuke, or Madara, but they
I
were.
don't mean I don't mean I don't mean like prodigy wise. I'm just asking. Do you think they train harder? Do you think they train their bodies like Sasuke did?
We can't say we don't know. They were definitely Sasuke was an exception. I can't say that the Uchihas were definitely really fucking strong. They probably trained really hard. I can't say because we don't know. We don't know if they trained like Sasuke. They were definitely not stronger than Sasuke because we know Sasuke is an exception. But you know,
From think we don't know for sure, but do you think they trained harder than Sasuke did? Again, there's a reason I'm asking this, and I'll tell you this afterwards. But do you think they trained harder than Sasuke did?
well, you're asking me to answer a question I really just don't know because
I'm just asking you to guess. I'm just asking you to guess.
if I had to guess,
Yes.
yeah, I think throughout the hundreds of years of history, I think there was some guy who tried training as hard as Sasuke.
We're not talking about some guy. We're talking about generally.
Just like the whole clan in general.
Yeah, like the people who are fighting. Do you think they trained as hard as Sasuke did?
Well, let me ask. Like, I gotta ask you this: like, at what point, when was Sasuke was training? Like, when Sasuke was training to kill Itachi, or when Sasuke was training in his childhood?
Let's say before his fight against Gaara specifically.
Before his fight against Gaara.
Yeah.
Okay, so at that point, like, Sasuke was planning to kill Itachi. Like, he was really planning hard to kill Itachi.
And I'll tell you what I'm gonna mean by all this in a second here. I'll let you finish though.
No, I'd probably have to say probably not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's no 100% no, but probably I would say probably not.
Okay. Now, the reason why I asked that. So, do you remember what happened when Sasuke fought Rock Lee? Even when he had a Sharingan, the first time he fought Rock Lee, even when he had a Sharingan unlocked, do you know what happened?
Oh yeah, he got his ass whooped.
Correct. Do you know why he got his ass kicked?
Because he didn't use fucking ninjutsu. Yeah, like he wasn't expecting taijutsu.
No,
Well,
not really. That's not really the answer. But
I'll
I'll tell you.
All right, yeah, tell me.
So Sasuke could read Lee's movements, but his body was not fast enough to keep up with the reaction that he would need to be able to counter Lee's attacks. So when you have people who can read their opponent's movements, that's good. However, if like their entire base is not trained to train their bodies to come up to that reaction speed, to fight people who have that who are fast, and you have to have a fast reaction speed because you can see what they're going to do, but if you're not fast enough and you can't react accordingly, you're going to get your ass kicked even though you can see them. So if these people weren't like constantly training hard, which I can't imagine they were just because of how often they were fighting and how often they would be fighting, I can't imagine that like they can have the Sharingan and they can see shit, but if they don't train their bodies to come up to speed with their eyes, then their eyes are kind of worthless.
Okay, now I got two particular counters for this. It is a very, I will say this, it is a pretty solid point. It's a solid argument, but I'm gonna say why it's a little mute. Sasuke is with the Sharingan. Sasuke is really used to seeing people use ninjutsu. When the Sharingan is mostly for reading like people who use ninjutsu. So Sasuke was expecting Rock Lee to use some type of ninjutsu. Now, when Sasuke first encountered somebody for the first time with crazy taijutsu like Rock Lee, it was something that he was not expecting. Rock Lee is a specimen. Rock Lee and Mike Guy are specimens of their own due to the fact that they don't train any type of ninjutsu whatsoever. That's why Mike Guy kicked Kisama's ass, because he doesn't use ninjutsu. Like, when you have someone who only trains taijutsu, other people don't expect that. It's gonna be a shock for most people. It was a shock for Kisame when Mike Guy kicked his ass. It was a shock for Sasuke when Rock Lee kicked his ass. Strict taijutsu was not something they were expecting at all. Now, here's what happened though. Sasuke copied that with his Sharingan, and he turned into something better. Now, we talked about before when Sasuke was training for Gaara, it was after Rock Lee kicked his ass. That's when he started training really hard. That's when that's after when Kakashi timed the Shidori after. That's when he copied Rocky's taijutsu after. And fucking, what else was I gonna say? There was one other thing I was gonna say. But I forgot what else I was gonna say, but that was my main point. You know, with like him being surprised by the taijutsu, like that is a big point. The fact that Sasuke was able to copy that, and that was something I forgot to mention too. You know, like the Uchiha clan can fucking copy what other people are doing, and they probably have done that against the Senju clan. That's definitely a factor. I don't, do you think?
Depends. Because in order to use like some jutsu, you have to like doesn't your chakra nature have to be like somewhat compatible with it or some shit?
I think so, but then then again, like Sasuke copied taijutsu's obviously not a nature, but I mean Sasuke copied Rock Lee's taijutsu.
He can copy the movements with his eyes, like he can copy that, and then he trained his body to match up with that speed that Rock Lee had.
Yeah, which is
now if you're taking like somebody who's in a war like this Senju and Uchiha were every day, I don't think that they're going to be able to train to really speed themselves up to catch anything. Like if they let's say as an example, Rock Lee were to fight Sasuke and Sasuke was taken off guard by like a taijutsu user like this, right? If nobody had stopped them and let's say it was a to the death battle, Rock Lee would have killed Sasuke. That would have been way too easy to kill Sasuke. Sasuke would have died.
They were. I don't know if Rock Lee was gonna take it that far.
No, I'm saying if this was like if it turned into a death battle. Like,
if it did.
Yeah, I'm not saying like Rock Lee would just randomly fucking try to murk Sasuke out of the movie. Like if it turned into a death battle like right away, like Rock Lee would have killed Sasuke. And that kind of ties into my point. So if it's a war and they haven't trained themselves to catch up with a fast enemy or like someone who might be faster than them, they're gonna get fucked. And you can say, well, they could copy their opponents and use that against them later. True. However, in a warring state like they were, if you get defeated how Sasuke was defeated by Rock Lee, in that warring time, you're not going to get out of there alive, unfortunately. So you're not going to be able to copy those movements, so you're going to get murked, and nobody's going to be able to copy it.
Oh, that's
unless like you were to like see it and then like retreat or something like that, if you were able to.
Oh, that's a very good point. But however, who's to say that we were assuming that these people had absolutely zero time to train at all? Now, obviously, these were during the warring period, which they had to mostly fight. But how, like, come on, these people had to do some type of training. It's not like they just
yeah, they did. I'm sure they did like basic training and all that.
And when they see like people like coming up like with these well, I don't know, because I mean with the Senju clan, like I'm gonna take a wild guess in the dark and assume that nobody was as skilled as taijutsu as Rock Lee or my guy in the whole Senju clan. I think we can easily take that big guess in the dark, because like we said, the Sharingan is mostly used for reading ninjutsu. That's what most people expect. We saw somebody like Rock Lee, my guy. Nobody was expecting them to just use strictly taijutsu. This is why Sasuke got fucked up. And
true, but even then, it just comes down to versatility. That at that point, I'm sure there was nobody stronger than Rock Lee or Mike Guy when it came to taijutsu out of like the general populace at all. But then again, it just comes down to versatility then of your ninjutsu, because again, if you're gonna make an Uchiha go up against somebody that they're familiar with fighting with, but you put them at a disadvantage now because the chakra, like they're using fire style, but let's say the opponent uses, fuck, what's good against fire? What,
Wind, I think no,
water or
wait,
rock?
water.
Wind, water, rock, maybe. Like if they're going against, like if they're at a disadvantage, you're gonna run into more disadvantaged, disadvantaged matchups with ninjutsu than not. So most of those battles, especially if ones are decided by ninjutsu, they're gonna be won by the Senju clan.
So, not, if we're talking overall, as in like not just ninjutsu but genjutsu and taijutsu, then overall, like if I like, I'm still leaning it towards the Uchiha clan because we're also taking into consideration the genjutsu being able to copy, but obviously you can't copy everybody's abilities, but still, like it's not as simple as that. Now, I will say this. Um, hmm. I did have a really good point, but I also forgot about it. The problem with all this is that like all these big, like, I mean, you know what? Never mind, because we already discussed this. All these, like, most of the big capabilities of like both these clans, like most Uchihas and Senjus do not have this. Well, like I said, with the points that I brought up, like, I mean, I think it's a pretty good argument as to why I think, the Uchiha clan outstrings the Senju clan.
I just think you're putting too much power into the 3 Tomoe Sharingan.
And it's not just it's not just 3 Tomoe, it's everything that comes with it. It's not just genjutsu, it's not just fire style, it's not just shuriken, but a lot of other things that came with it. And
like what?
What did I say? Did I say genjutsu?
Yeah.
Copying abilities, reading jutsu.
But again, you never saw and you never saw them do that though. Like you never saw them be able to copy jutsus or use it against people or anything like that. The only
but how do we know? How do we know they never use them though? That's because we didn't see them.
Because the only times you've ever seen Uchiha use jutsus, especially in battle, the only time they've ever used jutsus was either genjutsu or fire style jutsu.
And shuriken.
Shuriken jutsu. Those are the only things you ever saw them use. Out of all the fights you saw with Itachi, Sasuke included, until he gets like later on and learned like Chidori and shit. Like that's all that they knew. That's all that they used was just fire style, shuriken jutsu, and jutsu. That's all they used. Unless you can find me like some sort of like special fight to where like normal like Uchiha people were just using like water style and lightning style and shit like that, which I don't think you're gonna be able to find. But if you can find it, prove me wrong. Would love to see it.
Well, I mean, yeah, because Sasuke did have a natural lightning component, and Kakashi was the one who taught him how to utilize it. I don't know. Because here's the thing, because obviously Sasuke is a full-blooded Uchiha who was born with both fire style and the lightning style, which I'm glad you brought it up. So with that being said, obviously we don't know the full-blooded, like the full whole history of the Uchiha or the Senju clan. Who's to say that there was an Uchiha member who couldn't use more than his fire style? We don't know. But Sasuke was born with it. Somebody else could have been born with something all throughout the whole history. Now this makes
possible, but I think even then, if somebody else was born with it, I think that would again be one of those situations to where it's not the norm. You have to go to find somebody special who has it.
So are they saying,
we're just simply talking about the general populace or general people.
Well, I don't think having an extra chakra nature is I do not think that would be an exception. It's not the same as having a Mangekyo Sharingan. It's simply just having like an extra chakra nature. I think. Wait, didn't okay? Well, okay, Fugaku's an exception, but didn't Fugaku have extra natures?
I don't remember. He might have. I don't recall.
I gotta look him up too, because even though he's an exception too, but I think he has some other chakra natures too.
Yeah, I would just have to. I would just need to be shown something to where the basic Uchiha people used anything other than fire jutsu. So if you can find that, I'd fucking take back everything I said. But unless I can see something to where the general populace is using more than just fire style, genjutsu and shuriken jutsu, I have to keep it as pretty much their one-trick ponies when it comes to that for the most part.
Well, even that, like, but here's the thing: when you see people with one-trick ponies, like, one-trick ponies fools a lot of people. We saw, I mean, again, Sasuke's an exception. Uh, this Genjutsu was one-trick pony of Genjutsu fooled Deidara multiple times. Sasuke is an exception, but one-trick ponies, even if it's a one-trick pony, it can still fool a lot of people.
It can fool people, but even then, if you keep using it and you keep being known for the same thing, it's eventually going to get countered. And people are going to, when they fight you, they're going to plan out against it. Like Deidara to fight Itachi, he planned, since he knew all Itachi did was use Sharingan for the most part and rely on Genjutsu. That's why he trained his eye to be resilient against Genjutsu, which I don't understand how he got tricked so many times if he had his fucking eye trained against it.
Well, because Sasuke was really cunning.
Well, yeah, but if you train your eye to be super resilient against Genjutsu and then you just repeatedly fall for it, I don't know. I think that's kind of bullshit.
It was, but you gotta understand, like, oh wait, we got some hold up, we got some commentators. Somebody asked, what if Naruto got the Rinnegan? Will he be able to control it? Oh, you know what? That's an interesting topic I thought about before in the past too. Hinata Shoyo. That's an interesting topic. You know what? That's an interesting topic, Hinata Shoyo. But right now, me and Miss are in this heated debate of the Uchiha versus Senju. Hold up. We still got a whole lot of fucking characters to talk about. Now, Here's the thing. It's fucking 10:03 right now, and I got fucking work in the morning. I don't know if when you wanna pick this up, but I don't know. I'm calling this a stalemate as of right now. I think we should pick up on if you want to call it a tie, we can, but if you want, we can pick up.
We'll call it as a mute point because I don't think we're going to be able to convince one another.
I think so. You wouldn't really call it a tie. You just call it like a NA.
Yeah, just disagree.
Well, I guess I'll have to disagree with that. I mean, agree with that disagreement. I'll call this,
and I'll have to agree with the disagreement as well. Do you want to do one more? The one that you can choose. We don't have to go in order for this one.
Let's see. Okay. I would want to save. Listen, I would want to save the best for last. So I would normally say that we should. I would say like we should stop it at this point, but I'm not sure. I would pick something that me and you would agree on.
How about?
Or I don't know. I think I fucking. I don't want to make this longer than it has to be. Even if it might be short, like this shit could take. I don't know how long it's gonna take because that fucking Uchiha Senju debate that took a long ass time. So if you want to pick it up, I don't know when, possibly tomorrow. I'll have to see.
Okay, let's do one more, but it'll be short. And since we both agree on it already, and I know we do, how about we end it with Sasori versus Itachi?
Okay. Now, Itachi versus Sasori. Now, folks, this is interesting because wait, no, I need to click on that. Itachi versus Sasori. See, that right there is an interesting one because this is something that
You're
me,
still on the other screen.
huh?
You're still on the Uchiha versus Senju screen. I'm at your live stream.
Oh, I think it's because the fucking it's delayed. Like it's not,
okay.
yeah. So yeah, okay. This is interesting because this is something that me and Liz both agree on, and we both agree.
And we talked about this before.
Yeah, we talked about it before, but we both think that Sasori will get the upper hand against Itachi. Now, Mist, I have been talking for a minute, and Sasori is my man. But what do you wanna have the honor of taking it away?
Sure. I guess I'll lead us off. So when it comes to Sasori versus Itachi, you have to take in a few different factors. Now, Itachi fanboys are gonna start off with saying, "What? You can't say that. Itachi steamrolls. He's the one-shot king. How dare you say that?" Madara, more like Fodera, am I right? When it comes to Itachi versus Sasori, a lot of people just like to think, okay, well, he just uses Susanoo, Totsuka Blade, it's over. And that's really all Itachi fanboys go to. So, we're going to start off with the basics. Do you want to hit on the basics, Pop, since, Sasori's your man, or do you want me to hit that?
Basics of Sasori, Itachi, or like overall base, like which basics?
Like overall basics, like the advantages that like Sasori has versus Itachi, the weaknesses of Itachi, shit like that.
Okay, so going through a rundown of like the capability. So, okay, so Sasori's obviously a puppet user, and he was somebody who I would deem as he was done dirty in the beginning of Shippuden. I do not think he should have went out like that. He has capability of controlling the third Kazekage puppet, the Hiroko puppet, as well as the 100 puppets. And his strongest, I would say his strongest puppet or ability is definitely his third Kazekage puppet. Simply being that Iron Sand Jutsu, that is powerful. It's more powerful than I think it's definitely more powerful than Kara Sanjutsu, and I think the third Kazekage was noted to be. I don't know who.
Pretty sure he was the strongest Kazekage. I think, or something like that.
I don't know if it was. I don't think Garo's dad was stronger than him. I've heard something like that. Pretty sure the third Kazekage, if I remember correctly, was the strongest Kazekage in all of the
I looked it up. Yeah, he was.
Supposedly, and I've heard many theories on this, people say him and Sasori got into a fight, or Sasori poisoned him, Sasori ambushed him. We don't know. I do gotta say this, if it was a fight and Sasori was able to beat him, that should just show you how fucking of a beast Sasori is. Now, even if it wasn't a fight, and he killed me, like it was some type of poison or ambush, like that's still pretty fucking, that's crazy. Like to be able to assassinate a high level Kage like that, somebody who controls the Iron Sand, especially like somebody like Sasori, because Sasori got the nickname something Sasori of the Red Sand during the fucking war. So for him to assassinate the Kazekage, like that's some fucking beast mode shit. Okay, Sasori is not a low level Kasuga member like what some people think. Sasori is really fucking strong. Now, I don't dick ride Sasori. Sasori can't be beaten. But against somebody like Itachi, Sasori has a lot of abilities that I just think it counters Itachi. Number one, Sasori's a puppet and his eyes are not real. Now, there is no real confirmation on this, but I don't see how Itachi's Genjutsu would work on somebody like Sasori. The guy's a puppet. He doesn't have any senses. Now obviously like he does have chakra and the chakra core is in his heart, but he doesn't smell. He doesn't have any real eyeballs, like a real eyesight. Like if you tried like cutting his head off or cutting his eyes out, like it's not gonna affect him. So like like Genjutsu, I'm pretty sure would not affect him. I've read up many articles on this, many fucking topics on this. Me and Miss agreed on it. Genjutsu would not work on him. Okay. Itachi has other capabilities, like we talked about this a lot before, like fire style, fireball jutsu, fire phoenix jutsu. How is that gonna get through Sasuke's Iron Sand? It's not, bro. It's not. Iron Sand is a lot stronger than Garo's normal sand. And Garo's sand can block a lot of shit. Fire style is not gonna burn through Iron Sand at all. I don't see that. Now, Amaterasu? Amaterasu's in this interesting case. It can burn through the Iron Sand, but guess what? Amaterasu burns slow. It doesn't burn something fast right away. So what I think is this: Itachi could use Amaterasu on Sasori. Sasori will block them with Iron Sand. You know what Sasori can do? He can shoot that back at Itachi. So guess what? Itachi's getting shot at with Amaterasu flamed Iron Sand. And what would Itachi have to fucking do? He would have no
question.
Yeah.
Is Sasori going to start off this fight in his Hiriko puppet, or is he going to start off it with his normal self?
No, I mean, that's an interesting thing, because we've seen in the anime that he's able to be inside the Hiriko puppet while having the Kazekage puppet at the same time, but I think that was a filler. But I'm pretty sure it's possible. If he started off in the Hiriko puppet alone, I think that would put him at a disadvantage simply because of the fact that there's really nothing the Hiriko puppet can do that can get Itachi, because he has a bunch of needles. He has the fucking the tail that he can stab him with, but I don't see how that's gonna get Itachi. I think Itachi can easily break through the Hiriko puppet. That's like I said. If he started off with a Hiriko puppet plus the Kazekage, then like that's how I can see it being like a real big problem for Itachi. Now, I talk quite a bit. Miss, I think you should add on to what I said.
Yeah. So I think you hit a lot of good points. But I'll try to hit on some of the stuff that you didn't hit on. So when it also comes to Itachi versus Sasori, all you need to know is that Sasori, all he has to do is get Itachi with any sort of cut at all to win. Also, Itachi has ninja aids, so I'll stick to the poison first. So not only can he just cut Itachi to win, but if he just has poison fog blow to Itachi's way at any point, and if Itachi breathes any of that in or catches him by surprise or anything of the sort, Itachi's gonna fucking die. Now the thing about that is, obviously Itachi won't have any antidote or anything like that, or nothing, like he can't have any like tricks to pull out of his sleeve. Now, what many people will say is, oh, well, he'll go into a Susanoo and he'll hide in there, and, you can't do shit. You're not going to be able to touch him. So what are you going to do then? And I say, thank you for asking that question and pointing that out, Itachi fanboy 313-6969. Here's what Sasori, all he has to do. So as we saw with Madara, being inside of a Susanoo does not mean you can be doesn't mean you're immune to being pulled out of it or being attacked within it. So all Sasori has to do is bury one of his puppets underneath the ground. Could be an arm, could be a leg, could be a full puppet, who the fuck knows. And all he has to do is bury it under there and dig it underneath the ground, under Itachi. And once he does that, you know what all the puppet has to do? Release fucking poison gas into Itachi's Susanoo. Yeah, Itachi's not going to live through that. And if he does, all he has to do is just cut Itachi, which he can easily do by attacking him again from underneath the ground, which Itachi's not protected from. as we saw against Madara when Gara fought him.
Yeah,
So
and another thing too is that Itachi has the Yada mirror too, but here's the thing: the Yada mirror only protects one side of fucking his Susanoo. Now, like, not only can you like pull him from the ground or from the bottom, but I'm pretty certain that the Iron Sand, if he shot it, can break through other parts of the Susanoo. On top of the fact that he's got poison gas surrounding him, like, come on,
he has
Itachi.
multiple. Yeah, there's multiple iron sand objects, isn't there?
Yeah, like he can turn into a hammer. He can turn into an iron ball. He can shoot it.
Yeah. So, and especially if he combines both of those iron sand objects to make Iron Sand Unleashed, to where it's like those streams of iron sand, and he just has that go all around the Susanoo. Like, I don't see how Itachi's going to be able to counter that.
The thing is this, bro. Itachi would like. My thing is this. Itachi would have no other choice but to go into Susanoo when he's fighting Sasori. Because think of it, we already talked about it. Because listen, what is Itachi gonna do to Sasori like without Susanoo? Fire, like, I don't
Yeah,
see a fireball.
if Sasori pulls out his 100 puppets, Itachi has no chance because he's not going to be able to just Phoenix Flower all of them away or just Fireball all of them
He
away. That's
can't
too
tie.
many.
He can't tie jutsu out of them.
Yeah, he's going to get slowed down. There's just too many of them. He would have to go Susanoo, and that's if and only if the third Kazekage puppet didn't already push him to that state already.
No, do you think? Do you think Sasori would have to use? Because here's the thing: Kazekage puppet is stronger than the fucking 100 puppets for obvious reasons. You know, the 100
Yeah.
puppets. You know, the Iron Sand is a strong capability that can protect Sasori as well as break through the Susanoo. The 100 puppets would definitely not get through Susanoo.
Unless they buried it underneath.
Possible. Do you think Sasori would use 100 puppets first? Well, I always thought
Can
this
he
did.
use them? Can he use them in conjunction with his third Kazekage puppet?
That's what I always thought about. I've seen it. I've seen it in the filler. I've seen it in the filler. Like he had the 100. Like he released the 100 puppets while he was inside the Hiriko puppet, and at the same time, he was able to control other puppets.
Like, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to do that.
I think he should be pretty. I don't see why not.
Because I just think when he uses his 100 puppets collection, like it's his like best like personalized 100 puppets. I don't think it's like. I don't think it's because like he's like, oh, I can only control 100 puppets. I just think he has 100 of his best puppets that he wants to use. So I think he can use more than that.
Listen, Sasori took down the country along with his 100 puppets. Um. Oh, hey, another thing too. This was only in the manga, but you know his other. You know he had two. You know he had two other scrolls, right? That he never
Yeah.
showed. We don't know what was inside those scrolls. We obviously know what Itachi's capable
He has
of
like
doing.
the fight. He has the fire. Yeah, I don't. Did it still count for him using the fire and water scrolls?
Okay, so he had the fire and water. I thought there was one more other scroll that they never showed that he was capable of using. They never showed what it was.
Hmm. I think I remembered that. I looked it up real quick. Uh,
another thing too, bro. Along with Itachi's sickness and all that, and with him, like, Itachi cannot keep the Susanoo for that long. With him being
Oh yeah,
attacked,
he can't keep that up forever.
with him being attacked by all the puppets, Sasori breaking through his guard, and the poison gas, like, how is he gonna be able to hold the Susanoo for that long? Wait, but now here's another thing though. And I remember I came up with a counter argument for this before, but what can Sasori do against a Totsuka blade? The problem with this is that I think Sasori would have to try and be at a long range distance to where he can't get hit by it. I don't know if he can try and block it with the Iron Sand.
Well, I mean, all he really has to do technically is if he sees it coming, so long as his fucking his soul thing gets out of the puppet, he's fine.
But he needs to make sure his Kazekage puppet does not get destroyed.
Yeah, I guess what's stopping Itachi from using Amaterasu on the third Kazekage puppet?
Well, because the Iron Sand will simply block it.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Really, his main, like, so obviously Itachi can't use Genjutsu, he can't use regular jutsu. Like, Itachi has no choice but to resort to the Mangekyo. That's like Amaterasu, Susanoo. Okay, the beads will be a problem. I think that will be countered by the Iron Sand too.
Yeah, I could see that happening. But yeah, I just think with his ninja age, only having to inhale just a teeny bit of poison or get hit by a blade from a puppet underneath the ground, get hit by any of the iron sand at all. That's like if he gets hit, essentially, if he gets hit by anything or breathes in anything, he's dead. Even when his Susanoo is up, he is not safe. Because all Sasori would have to do is just bury a puppet underneath the ground and into the Susanoo it goes. And even then, let's say that didn't work. There's only a limited time Sasori has to hold out until Itachi can't put up his Susanoo anymore.
The biggest problem that Sasori would have was just some aspects of the Susanoo, like, well, I don't know. Do you think some of the 100 puppets could get inside the Susanoo?
I think if he tunneled him underneath the ground and came up from underneath, yeah. Otherwise, the only way I would see him being able to crack the Susanoo would be with the Iron Sand or the Iron Sand Unleashed.
You would have to watch, like, the thing is, like, I don't really think Amaterasu will be a problem because, I mean, well, I think Itachi will be stupid to try and burn puppets, the 100 puppets of Amaterasu, because he will be killing himself.
Yeah, he only has a certain number of those.
Like, he would have to try and use it against Sasori, but obviously Sasori can block that. Here's the thing, I think Sasori's main problems is dodging the Totsuka blade, or dealing with the Totsuka blade, and the beads, which I'm not sure, like, if Sasori will be able to dodge it, maybe be at a far away distance, or if he's able to block the blade with the Iron Sand.
Yeah.
I think just Sasori design a lot of shit he can use to overwhelm Itachi. Whereas Itachi has no other choice but to use the Mangekyo, like the Susanoo, to try and beat Sasori. And you know what? I could see Itachi getting Sasori if he did him with the Totsuka blade, or if he ended up hitting him with like a bead, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to add on?
Not really. I think we really covered everything here, or as much as we really could.
You know,
Didn't get through everything, but we tried.
I saw this Reddit post. It's it agreed with me too. It said Itachi would need Susanoo to beat Sasori.
And even then, it's not a guaranteed win. If Sasori is smart about it, which from the way he fought makes anybody believe he would be smart about it, he would win. But yeah, I think we made some good progress today.
We definitely did. Dude, that fucking Uchiha Senju shit took a long ass time.
Yes, it did. Well, and,
I gained some audience today. This man
yeah,
is.
so did I a little bit.
What if Naruto got the Rinnegan?
That could be a talk for later. All right, folks. I'm gonna call it here.
Alright, most of
I
that.
appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. I had a fun time with Pop. Had a good debate. Couple good debates. Had a lot of fun. Had some people tune in. Appreciate you all for coming out. Hope you had a Merry Christmas yesterday. And hopefully the rest of the week goes well for everybody else. Until next time, this is Mist and Pop signing off.
Well, sir, from my side of the house, for anybody still watching it was a long day today. We discussed a lot of characters. That Uchiha Senju debate definitely took a long time, definitely took a toll out of me. But with that being said, we're going to have to continue this another